All right. All right. Good evening. So I think we can all remember what malls used to be like. And then, well, when malls look like this tile pattern and the mirrors on the escalator and the plants, and of course the absence of people. So I thought it was appropriate somehow thought it was appropriate. So I mentioned, well, in the chat there to Model 3 dude, because he said, well, Lou's pumping out the videos tonight. And I said, well, you know who's not pumping out the videos tonight? Well, none other than Frankie Mohammed. No more AMC videos. I'm done. You know how much the play is worth. Get your money, Maine. Get your money, Maine. So maybe we'll start with that one. And get, I mean, I want to, my question is this a promise? Now, don't threaten us with this, Frankie. Don't threaten us. Don't mess with our emotions. And let's see. Manny says, yeah, the ticket price was higher than AMC stock at $12.62. And what's AMC stock? I don't even remember what it was last. It's been so long. 12.53. Yeah, he's right. He's right. But it looked like he showed the receipt for one ticket. So I'm wondering where his wife is, and why isn't she at the cinema as well? Okay, before we do that, I just want to point out. Let's refresh it for the freshest possible data, right? But it looks like we're going to have the MOAS next week at 2 p.m. This week at 2 p.m. With 1,004 subscribers. Now, of course, this would happen on a non-market day. So Lynn pointed out that we may have to wait until 2,000 subscribers for the MOAS, but it's okay because the apes can hold forever. They can hold longer than Wall Street is solvent. So it's all good. We can wait until 2K for our 120K per share for shorting. Anyway, see what he's got to say. See how he's going to go about this. What it seems like is, I'm just going to go with a pre-commentary on this. It seems like he can't handle the heat, and he's not in the kitchen, incidentally. He's out of the kitchen. He's out of the kitchen, literally, and it seems like he's getting out of the kitchen figuratively here. Now, he has gone with a motocross jersey in this video, but somebody else pointed out, or Lynn pointed out, that I guess he wore a polo in a previous video today. Because remember, we were and see, we missed our chance to take side action on this particular thing. We should have been betting on his shirts with prop bets. We should have been doing that. I got to get that website up and running. Wait, he deleted all of his AMC videos. Look at this. Look at this. Holy shit. Yeah, date newest. He deleted them all. Basically, now if you look, you go back, and eventually here we'll see Strike Up. There it is, Strike for Men. All natural sex pill back in stock, baby. Back in stock. But wow, that was one hell of a ride. Fortunately, we've got some of his content captured in our live streams. I believe it's a motocross shirt. Now, he was wearing the same shirt a year ago. He was wearing the same shirt 2 years ago. Look at this. I don't know if you can see this. I sure as hell can. It's this shirt with red and blue. And it's the same shirt with red and blue. And then here's the same shirt with red and blue. And it's 2 hours ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago. Interesting. Three years ago. These titles here. Fastest way to get MLM business partners and sales. 3 tips for building a successful MLM business. Why you should use YouTube videos to build your MLM business. I may have to check that out later. Also got absolute security store stun devices, pepper sprays, monkey fist keychains. That's interesting. Okay. But yeah, that's funny. 2 hours ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, all in the first 4 videos. 3 out of the 4 videos over a 2-year period. Same shirt. I know. I know. I'm a dick. What can I say?
Hey, what's up, this Frank? Hey, you know, when I started doing these AMC videos, probably, man, about 4 months ago, you know, I've always said, man, I'm a blogger and I'm a network marketer, man. I'm not really a person that do videos. But man, I stepped up and I started doing videos. Probably like I said, probably about 4 months ago, I started doing the videos because I sincerely felt like they was trying to screw us in our short squeeze play. And not only that, man, I sincerely felt like they was going to try to give us a payout of $500 a share. That was the environment back then when I started doing the videos. And I wasn't going to sit back and let them do that, man, without bringing some type of awareness to what was going on, since I had my money tied up in this short squeeze play. But, you know, doing these AMC videos, man, it take a lot of research and it take a lot of time when you're doing these videos, man, trying to keep people aware of what's going on, you know, and trying to bring update information as to what's going on, and trying to fight
a lot of
hedge
research,
funds, trying to fight short sellers.
watching other
Man,
people's
it's a whole lot
videos.
of work when you're trying to do that. And in my opinion, we got enough people, you know, in the AMC community doing AMC videos. So there's no need for me to do videos anymore. So I'm done. I'm not going to do no more AMC videos.
Well, actually,
So,
that's
man,
the
here's
first thing.
I want to send a shout
That
out.
is the first thing he's ever said that I agree with, I think. I mean, to be honest.
To Big Homie Lou versus Wall Street, Al from Boston, Phil for Real, Ape Nation Will, Common Sense Investor,
Scotty fucking Allen,
Tony De Niro,
thanks
AB
for mentioning
Investment, A Father, Commander 35, B Hayes, and Teddy Zane. You know, I watch all their content, man, and their content kept me motivated when I was doing my videos. And also, I used a lot of material from those guys to do my videos. So they kept me motivated, man, while I was doing the videos, because they weren't easy to do. So I want to send a shout out to them. And I want to thank all my subscribers for supporting the channel, man. So I'm going to throw the deuces up. But, man, look, you know how much the play is worth. Get your money, man. Peace.
Well, he knows how to rip out off a Band-Aid. So, cool. Phil for real. Man, don't leave me out here by myself. Oh, you're not by yourself. Thank you, Frankie. You were the one voice of calm and reason for many people, myself included. I always thought of you as someone who wouldn't sell out and someone with honor. Well, he breached that honor the other day with his video directed towards Lord X Nemesis, and as far as I'm concerned, if there was honor to begin with. Let me see what's going on over in the chat. I don't have my, well, I guess I can do it. Let's see, we got Model 3 due, bad back, Lynn, Manny is supposed to be watching the movie. He's supposed to be watching Top Gun for the 3rd time, but he's not. Tanko Natives here, hello. And says he wasn't trying to shut him down. Neither was Lord X, Nem. But, you know, I mean, it seemed like, well, I have, who knows? Who the heck knows? Probably knows that his video from the other day was unbecoming, so to speak. But I would have just deleted that video and never spoken of it again. You know, personally, if that were me, I would have just deleted the video and moved on. But maybe he actually believes that there's nothing really, you know, he's duplicative, essentially, which I would agree with. But let's see. Today's stream is better than Top Gun with this. Yeah, with this stuff. Now that this has come to light. Let's see. So yeah, let me get that going too. The voice chat over in finance chat on Telegram. So I'm starting the voice. See here, I got the voice chat on. Let's see. And it is open for business. So I may have to adjust the volume on that if don't make internet lag for no reason. That's a good point, yeah. Okay, I just got to get the, I need a producer. That's what I need. I need a producer, a remote producer. Let's see here. This, whoops, nope. Well, I don't know what I just did, but just messed it all up. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is the part where you join voice chat, and if you think that means you, if you think you means you, you're right. Don't make the internet lag for no reason, because when high-speed internet is in effect. But anyway, we'll see what happens there, right? Okay, no more Frankie. However, Strike for Men, Strike Up, is back in stock. Well, it was 2 years ago, so who knows?
Hello, my name is Frankie. I'm an independent business owner for Toll Light.
See? See? I have a theory that the hedge funds do this to me. Oh, it's going to be one of those nights, huh? It's going to be one of those nights. It's buffered all the way out. It's still buffering it. It will not play. Lord Nemesis is here. Hello. I think I'm suffering a DDoS attack from several hedge funds right now. Since the stock market computers were off today, I think they reprogrammed them all to shut my channel down since I got 1,000 subs. Which, thank you. I fully expect that that it will bounce off this level again. Yeah, let me go reposition the Starlink disk. Hang on, I'll be right back. Let me go move the Starlink disk. What the heck? This is ridiculous. I normally this happens at the end of the stream. Checking my task manager here to see what the hell is going on.
Hello, my name is Frankie. I'm an independent.
Jesus. Oops. Oh, god damn. Oh yeah, always an Elon joke. You know. Always. All right, well, when's the last time you put a video on 144p? Jesus Christ. If this doesn't play, then they definitely are fucking with me. By the way, how's my audio? Got a new microphone here. Headset, microphone, yada yada. Jesus fucking Christ.
Hello, my name is Frankie. I'm an independent business owner for Total Life Changes.
Oh shit.
If you don't know what Total Life Changes is, it's a network marketing company in the health and wellness industry. It's one of the top health and wellness network marketing companies. And I've been with Total Life Changes for probably about 4 years, and they've been around since 1999. And
solid.
One of our top selling products is the Strike Up. It's been out of stock for a long time. I'm doing this video because the Strike Up is now in stock. So it's back. It don't last long. And the Strike Up is a all natural sex pill for men.
So
It's a natural performance enhancer for men. Like I say, it's back in stock. One thing about the Strike Up is that it's an all natural product. You don't have to.
Well, we found out it's banned in 49 states and Puerto Rico, but all natural though, you know. So my question is, Lord Nemesis, what do you say? What is your response when people say that it's your fault that Frank left? How are you playing it? Just curious, because I'm not sure how I would play it. I mean, I kind of know generally how I would play it, but well, he poisoned the well when he made that video. Sounds like we got somebody coming in here. Aha, we got manual listening in the voice chat. Bad Back's here. Hello.
Just took a break a little bit from the movie. It's a boring, I don't know. I was watching like a boring part, but I just saw in the chat that that the Strike Up guy may just stop talking to about AMC. So I think that's a big win. So just want to say hello to you and everybody on the channel.
Oh, thanks, man.
Just huge fan.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. Well, stick around or come back or enjoy the movie or, we'll be here. And let's see. All right. Badback, are you there? I see you in there. He's in listening mode. Okay. Well, jump in if you like. I cannot hear you. But it looks like you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I just
Can
unmuted
you hear
you.
me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. All right. What's happening?
Just catching up on all the goings on. See, you're 1-0 getting grifters out.
Well, I can't take credit for that.
Well,
mean,
yeah, I guess you get the assist.
Yeah,
You
I'll take an assist. Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, Lord. I mean, yeah. It's funny because, well, yeah, we've just been talking about that, and they're taking each other out at this point. It's
So Frankie, before he did the AMC grifter, he did the MLMs.
yeah, as far as we can
Wow.
tell. I mean, he might still do it. Who knows? Probably still does it. I mean, he
knew what he was.
Well,
doing.
Actually, that's a good point. I didn't actually even think about that, but that is a really good point.
Hello, my name is Frankie.
So he was doing this shit. He was doing this shit a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And this MLM stuff, that's the whole thing is selling the system, like the products are, they don't really make any money off that shit as far as I know. You have to get new people
you're just
in
trying
it.
to get more people under you.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So it is very much like, yeah, a grift essentially. So
And look at his views.
Yeah.
Barely any.
Strike for Men has gotten 308 views. That's the most because it's a sex pill, and I guarantee that I've watched it a dozen times on this stream. So then people have probably gone to it, from here. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, How to Prepare Yourself for Success has 9 views. So whatever, but
So he saw his little chance to get in this trying to make money. And it wasn't about the stock making money, it was about trying to
Right.
grift.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because none of these guys show their positions ever, and I don't understand what would be like. Why is that such a bad thing? Like, why are they forbidden to show their positions? Like,
Well,
it makes no sense.
If you remember, way back when last year, like I'm talking about before June, like I guess after the GameStop squeeze into like May, Trey and Matt Kohrs did show their positions. They weren't. That was before they sold, and then they stopped showing their positions after June 2nd, and they never really addressed it. And I think maybe Matt Kohrs said something one time like, "Oh, well,
He said something like his lawyer tried to.
Yeah, that's what he said. You're right.
His
Yeah,
lawyer
that's what he
gave
said.
advice not to do it or something like that.
That's what he said. Yep.
As long as you're not doxing yourself, there's nothing illegal about showing your position.
No, of course not. I mean, of course not. So clearly they, and then we find out that, yeah, they did, at least Trey, made $1 million trading options, and Matt made $500,000 on super chats, but I mean, I'm sure he had an AMC
sick
position that he sold. I mean, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he have sold it? So, yeah.
Yeah.
But then they literally stopped. Nobody has that I've seen. I bet a lot of them have never. Like I've never seen people like short the VIX or Roensch Capital or, you know, any of those guys. I've never seen Lou. I've never seen anything from Lou. I've never even seen. I think one time he had a screenshot from Webull, but I don't think it was his position. So, yeah.
And who's to say they couldn't just buy 500 to 1,000, just 500 to 1,000 shares, and then take a screenshot, sell covered calls, and for the
Mm-hmm.
money they spent on those 500 to 1,000 shares, that's nothing compared to their YouTube revenue.
Right. Well,
You
Trey
know what I
did
mean?
put
So they
out.
really don't care what happens with the stock itself. It's
Right.
just like a little
It's
advertisement type.
it's an Yeah, it's a business expense essentially to
Right.
show
Right.
the
Yeah.
image of them
The
being
tax write-off.
invested. Yeah, exactly. Now Trey did say, I don't know, a couple months ago, he said, I'm committed to this, and that's why I'm going to buy $100,000 of AMC. But I don't think he ever showed it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
after he did that
I don't think he
stupid
ever showed it.
$10,000 tip thing, which was retarded. Like, so then he, was probably feeling guilty about that, which he should. Uh, but then he came out with that. Let me see if I can find it here. It's just crazy.
And
It's
how about
shit's.
kohrs?
Mm-hmm. Go
kohrs
ahead.
did the kohrs did the thing where he was telling his viewer base to send him donations for St. Jude's, and he would send 100% and match whatever to St. Jude's. And he did. But what's slick is he had his subscriber base send the donations to him, and then he sent the donations to St. Jude's under his name so he could get that
Oh,
big tax write-off.
oh my God.
And no one caught on to that hustle. Like it was crazy.
I remember when that was going on, but I didn't know about that part of it. I wasn't really paying attention
Yeah,
to
he
him.
made the donation, but he was telling all his subscriber base to donate to this, send it, and he set up like some type of fund or whatever under his name, and they sent the donations there, and then he sent a big check for all of it to St. Jude. So it was under the donation came from him,
That sounds
so it
like
could be
it's
his little tax write-off.
that sounds like it's probably I mean, technically illegal or something, because it's not like you can't.
Yeah, I
Not that
mean,
it's small potatoes, I know, but like it's just from an ethical standpoint, like yeah,
oh,
and
that's
from a
scummy as
standpoint,
hell.
yeah, from a standpoint of somebody who's like, all right, yeah, I want to donate to St. Jude's. Now, why would you not? Why would you send it to a third party? Like that makes no sense. Like why would you? I mean, because it's a bunch of
Yeah,
kids. They don't fucking know. They have no clue.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll send it to Matt so he can match it. Okay, great. Jesus Christ, fucking stupid.
They got onto this scam and this hustle at the right time.
Oh yeah.
And part of me is like I hate those people because they're scummy, but a part of me is I
Jealous.
can't be too mad because the people are allowing themselves to get duped. And there's
Right.
plenty of information at this point now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
last year I could understand being naive, but after this
Right.
whole year's passed, there's been plenty of information to expose, and they just refuse to listen. So it's almost
Right.
like, you've been told not to touch the stove. You burnt yourself now. Fuck it.
Right. Yeah. Yep. I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree. I thought you were gonna say a part of you was jealous or wished that you had jumped on it at that time too on their side because
Yeah, I
because
mean,
yeah.
I, a hustle is a hustle. I mean, it's a scummy ass thing, but the people don't care. They're like
Yep.
I mean, Lou. They showed he was convicted of fraud, and
Right.
you know what I mean. Like he's a terrible person, but they don't care.
They
So
don't care.
it's like someone's gonna get it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I am a little jealous. Like
It's
I
a
just
hell of
don't
a
have the
grift.
level of scumminess in me to do it, though.
No, I don't either. I I don't. But here it is. My $100,000 buy for 4 months ago. So what was the price then? How much is he down on that one? Jesus Christ. I mean,
I seen a video today. Lewitt posted about. I guess he was reposting. People were sending him little videos or whatever, and it was a dude. I guess his wife and their 2 little kids, and she was saying like, "We're down 60 grand, but we're still in it." And I'm like,
is that the one that you posted in Telegram?
That means they.
You post somebody posted that in Telegram, I think.
No, I think someone posted. Yeah, I think someone posted it in Telegram. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, for just taking a guess, I would have to think if they're down 60K, that's probably their 401k. They've switched into it or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
So they fucked up their retirement money and they're happy about it. Like, they still think this thing is going to go to, like, I mean, hundreds of dollars they're not even satisfied with, which is insane to me.
Yeah, I mean, $2 to $72 is 36x. So now I understand not everybody was in it at $2. I sure as hell wasn't. So, but I mean, I think part of the problem is that those people weren't in it then, and they didn't experience the initial thing, which is that's the move. Like, that's what I think a lot of people don't understand, is that the first move, that's the impulse. That is where all of the energy is, because it has that, FOMO. It has, there's nobody selling because there's legitimately fewer people selling, I mean, more people buying, because, the FOMO and the excitement and all the whole energy of everything. That's the move. And there'll be bounces,
everybody.
Yeah. Go on.
If you notice, everybody now that's in it always says they're down. So obviously all the people that got in it at 2, 10, 12, 15, 20 have gotten out. They were smart. The only ones left are the bag holders that probably got in on the way down from 72.
And they
just don't want to admit.
They're the same ones who say, well, the shorts could have covered at $10. The shorts could have covered at $8. I got news for them. The shorts that shorted, then, or they could have covered at $5. They could have covered at $2. Nobody is holding a short position from fucking first quarter of 2021. Like, it's just, it doesn't work that way. I mean, and you can see that shit on Ortex. Who knows, but like, those shorts are out, but there's plenty of profitable ones there now. And that's the other thing. I don't know how in the hell they can sit there and say, the shorts are hurting. The hedge funds are hurting. Yeah, we were talking about this last night on here. Not when they can close for a profit. Not when they can close their trades out for a profit whenever they want to, when they decide to at the end of the month. Like, that's the opposite of a short squeeze. Really, there's no reason to think that it would even happen at this point based on that. Like, I just don't get it. And like you said, I mean, it's a bunch of people that got in late, and so they're inexperienced traders or first-time traders, and it's like any cult. There's new people coming in, that people that get tired of it and realize it's a cult and a scam, they get out, but there's always a new greater fool that comes in, and they don't know that shit. So, yeah. But
you always need fresh blood.
Right. Yep. Now, what you were saying.
But remember when
yeah.
Remember when not Al, what's his name, Lou, said he was telling everybody quit buying because that's how they're beating us, because we're giving, he wanted everybody to stop buying, and then their community, the AMC people, were like, that don't make sense. If we stop buying, that stops the buy pressure. And if we stop buying, the stock will go down. And if it goes down to 15, 10, the shorts will start to cover. I remember that Casey Shaw used to say that all the time.
I don't remember. I don't remember that. When was that? Do you remember like when
You
that
don't remember
was?
when Lou was telling people to stop? Yeah,
Shit, I don't know.
yeah, because Lou had told people stop buying because something like when they don't have any real shares left, so when we buy, that creates more synthetics and allows them to profit essentially.
Hmm.
And he was trying to convince the community to stop buying. And then Trey and a bunch of other people came out and said, don't do that. That's the dumbest thing. If we stop buying, that stops buying pressure. And then the price will fall. And which is the worst that can happen, it falls to 15, 10, 5, then the shorts can cover. And I remember that guy, Casey Shaw, was saying that too. Like, if we let the
Huh.
stock go down, because this was when it was like in its 20s or 30s.
But that's
And it since has gone down to the
right.
sub 10. So
And yeah, and it didn't cost. But see, that's the
basically,
thing though. That's
shorts,
if shorts cover at a low price, it's not going to be. It's not a short squeeze. Like that's profit taking, and that's
right.
what you need is you
Yeah.
need the shorts to get fucking squeezed out. Like you know they're losing money, and
So they're
they
having to buy
scramble to
a
get out.
crazy
Right?
high
Exactly.
price. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it pushes the price up. So that's the biggest really that's the best argument. Well, there's a lot of I mean all of them are good, but that's one of the simplest explanations for why there won't be another squeeze, I think. Or why why there it's not set up for a short squeeze because and add in the fact that there's no buying pressure whatsoever. Like that's also a problem. Like there's no buying pressure. The only buying pressure is short covering that happens. Like it's crazy. The only buying pressure that ever happens is short covering rallies that happen, and they happen across the whole market.
Mhm.
A lot of the time. So it's not even like AMC shorts are covering. It's short covering across the market, profit taking, and repositioning at the end of the month and shit like that. But other than that, 20 million, 30 million volume, like okay, and most of that's sell. Most of that's sell volume. Like
Yeah.
it just, it ain't
How
gonna
they
happen.
haven't caught on to, how they haven't, like I said, if you're doing the same thing for a year, by mistake, you learn stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I don't understand how
Exactly.
they've been in it this long and can't learn the fundamentals. Like, they don't even understand like the basic fundamentals. They're so wrapped up in this crazy Dan Brown conspiracy type shit that
Right.
it's amazing. It's like a video
Yeah.
game. It makes
Well,
no
I
sense.
mean,
And like,
yeah, I mean, one of your
go ahead.
one of your main like one of the big YouTubers last year was Review Dork. And what did he do before this? He reviewed video games and shit. Like he literally was a video game.
Yeah,
So like when did he become an expert on stocks? I don't know. Like it's like okay,
yeah.
that's who I'm going to trust. I mean, I had never heard of him before this, but it's crazy. Just
All their channels were small until this came along,
yeah.
and they've all have increased it. And like Manuel said right here, Trey probably made another million buying AMC puts because he did call the price decrease a while ago.
Oh yeah, and
And
remember
I
when he
think he took a
came
lot
out
of
and
flack
said
by telling
he
people
called
starting to play puts.
exactly. I was just going to say that. He said I do remember when he said that and it caused a big, stink in the community and it's like, well, I mean, so what? Go make money. Go fucking make money.
Right.
Kansas 5. Well, yeah, we had the Kansas 5 too. So that was
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was a fucking shit show. I mean, if it like I don't know how it wasn't clear to anybody um, who saw that this was a fucking scam. Like getting together, probably with the CEO in the fucking headquarters, like in the same state, same metro area as the headquarters, and then they come out with this unified message. Like, boy, that's garbage. Yeah, you guys jump in the voice
Yeah,
chat.
there's some cities went down with that.
Yeah, and well, I did
And the
see that.
fact that
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm sorry, the fact that not only Adam Aaron, but the majority, if not all, the board members have sold damn near every share that they own that is vested,
Yep.
meaning that they're allowed to sell.
Right.
Adam Aaron keeps saying he owns this much stock still and everything. It's because it's not vested, meaning he can't sell those yet.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically forced to hold that position until they mature. So I don't understand how no one has caught on to the fact that the whole board has sold damn near every share that they're allowed to sell.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
if they were faithful in the company and even thought that it had any type of chance to stay near that price area, they wouldn't have sold. And they're telling everybody else not to sell, but they don't.
right. Yeah. I mean, and I was just going to look at the insider trading. Antoinette's here. What's up? So let's see. Yeah, the selling. Let's see. So, yeah, Adam Aaron didn't sell anything until November 9th, and that was it was 625,000 shares sold for a value. I mean, and we don't know what he bought them, or well, no, he didn't buy these shares. These were probably shares that he got. So yeah, so it's just that's all profit. 25.3 million. That was back in November.
And not only that, but the shares he gifted his sons.
Yeah, that was $40, $40.53 a share. And then you had another 312,000, so another just under 10 million. So that's 35 million right there. That was in December. So November, December, 35 million. Then you had another 7 million in January. And I think that's it. Yeah, another 7 million. So 35.
And the reason he gave
42 million.
The reason he gave was because he didn't have adequate estate planning. What multi-millionaire CEO that has been he's been a CEO of different corporations for the last at least decade, right? Been a multi-millionaire. Who doesn't in that status doesn't have an adequate estate plan already?
Oh yeah.
Like that's bullshit. He wanted to get out because he knew the price wasn't going to be up there, that it was way overvalued.
Right.
I don't fault him for that, but he's just the way he lied and the way the gullible community ate it up is crazy.
Yeah, it is. And I mean,
as hell.
I wonder were his shares vested, like how many vested shares did he have like last May, last June, when the price was astronomical? Could he have sold then? Or is the reason he didn't because he couldn't?
70?
Yeah, even in the 60s, 50s, 60s in June of last year.
He had to put in he has to give I think it's so much of a notice before he sells. Like I think it's at least like 30, 60 days or something like that. He has to put in advance before those shares can be sold. It's
okay.
Like he can't do like we do. Like if we want to sell them today, we can sell them today. He has to actually file a certain amount of time in advance.
What did you just do? What did you just do? Your audio changed. It got much clearer because it was kind of sounding like hollow. Did you just move the phone closer to your mouth or something?
Phone, so.
Oh, it sounds good now. Yeah.
Phone, so I don't know.
It sounds good now. Before it was like kind of like sounded like you were in a bathroom or something.
Muffled?
No, well, yeah, muffled.
My shitty phone.
Oh, okay. No, it's all good. I mean, it's
my
still
shitty phone probably.
So yeah, okay. So right, it has to be disclosed and all that. So, and also I think it would have looked really bad probably to the apes if he had sold at the top like that. So who knows? You know, I mean, maybe some of that was calculated as well. But I mean, shit, selling at
Man,
40 with a cost basis of 0, you know, shit, that's pretty damn good. You mean, you can't get much better than that. So 42 million
yeah,
is what he made out with, according to what I'm seeing here.
yeah, I know it's 40-some million, yeah.
Yeah, it
And
sounds about right.
I think the COO,
Oh yeah,
what's
Sean Goodman.
yeah, yeah,
Or no, that's
I don't even think he has
he was a CFO. Sean Goodman was a
CFO,
CFO.
that's who it is, like Goodman. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Sean Goodman guy. He's been dumping too. But they all have, the whole board has.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. And it started
And when they
basically
tout,
in August, November.
mhm,
November, yeah, November 1st is when it started. And I would be willing to bet that like a lot of them became vested on November 1st or something, you know, like of course that was really when the market started its topping out, you know, too. November, December, that area, and there was a lot of insider selling of everything then too, you know,
mhm.
and even in Congress and shit. Like that's when Nancy Pelosi started selling her shit. So I mean, you know, it was,
Oh,
I
they're
guess.
asking what happened to Frankie.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. What happened with Frankie? Just woke up. Oh boy. Yeah, you just woke up and took a nap. Um, and your whole world's changed because Frankie is done. He's done with AMC YouTube. He is done. So now we can watch Ape Father's reaction to that. I mean, we don't need to really watch his final video again. I mean, it's basically. I bet he's not even gone. You remember how many times these guys said, "Oh, I'm going to take a break from this. I'm not going to talk about AMC anymore." They always came back. They always came back. Always. They couldn't.
Yeah, they're addicted to the attention.
Right. So
I just found out I got a
shit. Now it's going to do this again. God damn it. I'm curious to see what he says because you know, there's some talk in the Telegram group about the ape father being well, positive. Oh, I don't want to say positive. Non-negative sentiments towards the ape father. Let me put it that way. Like, yeah, he's not that bad. Maybe. Well, we'll see. This is a litmus test right here. What's his reaction? God, if it will fucking play. Oh my God. What the fuck? Jesus. I'm just gonna have to download all these videos.
So I just found out.
I'm gonna pause it on my terms and start it. Come on, dude. Wow. Wow. Yeah, Manny was in here for a minute. He was at the movies and he was in here. Not AMC though. Okay, well, shit balls. I guess I'll have to download it. Ridiculous. So, let's see here. Network error. Oh my God. What the fuck? Apparently got people working on the roof here in my apartment. And it sounds like somebody's dropping hammers on the roof here. Oh my God, what the fuck? This is ridiculous. I can't. How am I still streaming then? Like, if my connection is this bad, it doesn't make sense. Network error.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, maybe I'll reduce my streaming rate. See what happens. But I mean, it's already not that high, so that's fucking weird. This is what I call, yeah, this is the hedgies fucking with me, because we're actually talking about the truth here. And if you think about it, the people that they would want to shut down, they don't want to shut down the grifters, because they're making a shitload of money based on that shit. Like the hedgies are, Wall Street is. This channel is what they would want to shut down if they wanted to shut down anything, because I'm trying to get, I'm trying to shut down the grifters, and that, that hurts Wall Street. So that's the only, that's the only thing I can think.
Just the simple fact that the SEC hasn't done anything to shut down this AMC community for manipulation or anything like that should show that they know that it's not. If that were true, don't you think they would move to stop the colluding and stop because that's pure manipulation what they're doing, getting together as a group.
Oh yeah,
and coordinating buys and holding for
engineering a short squeeze is the SEC rule, the SEC regulations directly prohibit that. It says it right there. Colluding, or I don't know, I forget exactly how it's worded. But engineering a short squeeze, yeah, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to fucking do that. Like,
yeah, the fact that they haven't put a stop to it should show that they don't give a shit, because it's not.
They don't need to put a stop to it, right? They don't need to, because it's nothing doing already. Yeah, exactly. That is exactly right. I mean, as far as I can tell, yeah. Okay, finally downloaded. So let's see here. Wow, fucking ridiculous. Okay.
Said the AMC will mow ass before your video loads.
I know, I saw that. It's funny. That's actually funny. That is very funny. It's not always this bad. Sometimes worse, but not usually. Let's see here. I got to get the window in here. I really wish there was, well, okay. There we go. There he is. There he is. Okay.
Yeah, the grifters are the recruiters, almost like an MLM.
What's that?
No, Antoinette said the grifters are like recruiters. It's almost like an MLM. I said,
yeah, right.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, and that, like, oh, well, the other thing too, Antoinette, that what you call it? Frankie deleted all of his AMC videos. Like, if you go to his channel, they're all gone. All of his AMC videos except for the last one. I went off of it already, but if you go to his channel, you'll see that they're all gone. So, yeah, I mean, I would have just deleted the one from the other night where he went into that.
Yeah, why did he delete
trash
his
talking
past videos? Because you can still get views on them.
Right. Yeah, it's odd. All right.
So I just found out. I got a message from one of my 8 brothers, but he asked me not to mention his name. So out of respect, I will not. Informing me that Frankie Mohammed apparently closed down his AMC YouTube channel. Look, I don't wish nobody bad in this world. You understand? I wish everybody the best of health, the best of happiness, the best of success. And Frankie, listen, God bless you. I don't wish nothing bad. Look, me and Frankie, unfortunately, had a couple of disagreements. Okay, it happens in life where you have what's called a difference of opinion. And, I was just upset when Ape Nation Will threatened me and threatened my family. And, like I said, I never mentioned this guy. I didn't even know that this guy existed. I didn't even know Ape Nation Will had a YouTube channel. I knew nothing of this guy. I never made a video about him. I never mentioned him. I never spoke about him. And then this guy comes out threatening me, saying he wants to come to my house, he wants to knock me out or whatever. And the thing is, Frankie Muhammad, okay, as you know, interviewed Ape Nation Will the same day. And I always considered Frankie Muhammad a friend. You want me to tell you the truth? I considered him a friend. We used to talk, a lot back and forth with email. And I was upset that he didn't tell Ape Nation Will. You should have said what you said about Ape Father's family was wrong. And as soon as he didn't do that, I'm sorry, Frankie, I lost respect. And then to make matters a little worse, me and Frankie always agreed that Lou is a con man. Lou is like the friggin' this guy. I still to this day believe Lou does not own one AMC share. He does not have a fractional share of AMC.
Even I own one AMC share.
Just everything is bad with this guy. Everything is
for
bad.
lending.
The guy
For
has
lending
made
purposes.
1,000 predictions that AMC is going to squeeze over the last year. None of them have been right. And, Lou saying we're going to squeeze March 3rd, wrong. Lou saying, when the transparency rule goes into effect, we're going to squeeze, wrong. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And then he said, if we don't squeeze in the month of March, we're never going to squeeze at all. So me and Frankie, we used to always talk about Lou. And Frankie seemed to agree with me that Lou is basically either allegedly, paid off
Grifter.
by the hedge funds. I say that word because I can't prove it. That's why I say people make fun of me. They say Ape Father's new word now is allegedly. I say that because I don't listen. When I have proof, like here's an example, I know for a fact that Lou stole $72,000 or $73,000, I think it was $73,000 from senior citizens. So I won't say the word allegedly. I'll say it's a fact that Lou was convicted for fraud and went to jail. But when I don't have proof, when I don't have actual evidence, I have to say allegedly. I have to. So, me and Frankie agreed that Lou allegedly was probably paid off by hedge funds because the guy's always, I don't know, he's always something with this guy, sell low, new brackets, this, that, I'm getting offered tens of millions of dollars to give up retail, and fucking guy's got more stories, Lou, than Walt Disney. So me and Frankie agreed on all of this, right? Then all of a sudden,
More
I
stories
wake up
than
one
Walt
day,
Disney.
I don't know, it's like 3 o'clock, me, I'm like a rock star. I wake up, I'm like Paul Stanley from Kiss. I wake up whenever I want. And on my feed, I see Frankie Muhammad's video saying like, I love you, Lou. Lou, you are the best thing that ever happened to AMC. You are. I want to thank you, Lou, for just keeping me strong and keeping me motivated. And I'm thinking, is this guy Frankie Muhammad nuts? Because we had conversations. We had conversations that Lou is just basically a piece of garbage. Okay, so other than that, those are the only things I had against Frankie Muhammad. Other than that, listen,
now he needs
Frankie,
to say that about Al.
God bless you.
And I'll, shit.
I wish you nothing but the best of health, happiness, success. AMC to Pluto.
Bunch of grown men acting all butthurt over attention from other grown men.
Yep. I mean, shit. If he got half of the shit that I've gotten over the last almost year, God only knows what they would have done. I mean, I don't care. Oh shit. Am I muted? No, I'm not muted. Okay.
No, I can't hear you.
Okay. And I'm, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. And, I'm not saying it to make a big deal out of it, but it's not hard. It takes no courage whatsoever to do what these guys are doing, to jump on the bandwagon and say the same shit, which is exactly what people want to hear. And they will, it's like a guaranteed path to success on YouTube if you do this type of shit. But it's not real. It's temporary. It's like, it's a temporary thing because it's not grounded in any reality. So basically it's a shortcut. It's cheating. And eventually, you have to pay the Pied Piper, I think. And maybe
Well, in the
that's why.
beginning, when they first got in, it was all
Hmm.
love and everything was good. But now that it's dragged on this long, people are starting to get frustrated, starting to ask questions, starting to
Hmm.
wake up a little bit, applying a little bit of pressure. So now all the love they used to get ain't there anymore. So now they don't know how to deal with the negative backlash that they're starting to get. So you'll start seeing them drop off one by one.
Yep, probably, yeah. So Antoinette says, all these motherfuckers must be unemployed. Who has time for this shit? And I'll be honest with you. When I started doing this last year, last July, I was unemployed. I was unemployed then. I had a lot of free time, and I made a shitload of videos. I had the channel for, let's see, like 4 or 5 months, and I had over 300 videos that I made. And they were all videos. I wasn't even live streaming really until like the last couple months. So when it's a hell of a lot easier to do if you are unemployed. Um, that's why I mainly do fucking live streams now, because it takes so long to record and edit videos that I would much rather have a live stream, because like at least then I can
Mm-hmm.
interact with people, and it's like it's up, it's real time, do it and then move on. It's just much
And
better. But I don't know. I don't know how that. Yeah, I mean, well, we know like people like KC Shaw,
someone
like
like Lou, his
he's
channel,
he's
he's probably
unemployed,
making some decent money.
right now. Yeah, Lou, or Trey and Matt Kohrs back in the day, or Short the
Vic, I
Vix,
think Vic
or yeah, yeah. Those guys are
reviewed,
making Review Dork,
and they're
TMI,
getting sponsored too by so many different other bullshit companies
right. Yeah, let's look at
like
Trey here.
Weevil.
He's got Unusual Whales, ExpressVPN. Yeah, this was from January 28th, and yeah, he's got. So this was 1 year. That's why he did this. Today marks the 1 year anniversary of the buy button being taken from retail on January 28th, 2021. I discuss my personal trading journey, the progress we've made, the lessons we've learned. Let's discuss the power of our community and what's in store for us. Hashtag 100K. So, and he's got Unusual Whales and ExpressVPN. So he's getting, it says right here that they are affiliate links, and I left a comment. I actually left a comment. Jesus, man, get some new material. The same grift over and over for a whole year. You
Mm-hmm.
aren't changing Wall Street, except maybe lining their pockets with the life savings of uninformed retail investors. What a joke. And I wish.
They brought an interesting point up in the chat saying that wonder if Frankie is protecting his assets. Maybe he's
Oh
afraid
yeah.
there could be financial repercussions. Maybe he get like a cease and desist or
Yeah. That's actually a good point, because I mean, yeah. I mean, I like that would explain why he removed all of his videos, like, because that's what doesn't make sense to me. Like, I understand saying, all right, well, I'm not going to make any more AMC videos. Like, there's already enough people, whatever. But deleting all of the videos you've already done, which I don't even know how many there were, but probably a lot, like 100 or something like that. Like, why wouldn't you want that to be there if you still believe in all that shit? If you actually do believe it, and you're still have conviction to that information that you put out, why would you take it down unless there was another reason, like you're saying here?
yeah,
Yeah.
possibly he could be trying to get a new job and he wanted,
Yeah,
for
clear
a
off his.
background check. He didn't want someone to pull up
Right.
his videos of
Yeah.
him talking a whole bunch of shit, acting like
Well,
a nut.
right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, assuming that that's his real name. I mean, because I don't know. Do you know who
Yeah.
that guy Tom Nash is on YouTube? Tom Nash.
No.
Oh, I think he's Russian. I think he might even be Russian. He's got an accent. Um, but I think it was Chris Norland. Chris Norland did a video exposing that Tom Nash, that's not his real name. That's his quote unquote stage name. Frankie
Oh
Mohammed.
yeah, I wouldn't put it past any of them to put fake info, but when they sign up for the account, the YouTube account,
Right.
there's ways you can, when you do a background check, you can figure all that shit out.
So I just searched for his name and his location, and I took it off because I don't want to be accused of doxing
Mm.
anybody. But there is information out there, and it, like you can find it. So I mean, it's just a Google
Oh, okay.
search, like it's there, and it appears to be accurate. So
Yeah, that's the thing. They all become the things they hate so much.
true. Yeah.
The chat said he
Oh
became the
yeah.
very shill he posted up
Oh,
about.
look at that. We're down to 992. Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to hold. I knew it was not going to hold. Oh well. It's more fun. But it's going to bounce around that $1,000 or 1,000 subscriber psychological level. Then eventually it'll just shoot through it. You know how this shit works.
Yeah, you gotta break the resistance.
You got to test the resistance, yeah, a few times. So I'm not worried about it. But yeah, but even Trey, like, I mean, yeah, we watched a Trey video from last year, Trey's videos and stuff. It's just totally way different. I mean, you've seen this shit. I mean, yeah, I know he has a medical condition, whatever, but I mean, why does he have who knows? But it's not obviously it's not good. We know like it's just shit is just not good, and like I don't know. I think that well, we talked about this, like the weight of being a leader or whatever, the president or whatever. You age a lot faster, and he has. I mean, also drugs
Oh
do
yeah, the
that
stress
too,
is getting to him.
right?
You can see his face. He's got the bags under his eyes.
Yeah.
Face kind of looks sunk in.
He used to brag about his haircuts. Like he would go spend he spent like $100. He would go get like $100 haircuts, and he was obsessed about his hair. And I just I don't see that anymore. Like at least
Now, I'm not
certainly
saying
not
that
in
to
this.
shit on
But
anybody's
no, yeah,
appearance.
no, it's not
It's
personal.
just
It's nothing personal
right.
or
It's just
anything. It's just we notice this shit. Like that's what I think. It's those kind of things, because I said this about TMI. I've talked about a lot of these people because I've noticed changes, and I've said that I think that well, you have to pay attention to details. That's probably
mm,
what that one thing that separates people who make a profit in the market from people who lose money all the time is that they're actually paying attention and thinking about things and noticing changes. And it's a whole philosophy, I think, of being attentive, being mindful of like what you're looking at, what's in front of you. um, Not reading too much into it, but at least being aware of what's there and how it's changed, because there's all kinds of shit that
yeah.
I
I
hear.
think he knows
There's all kinds of
that.
shit that I hear in these videos that nobody else brings up. I never see anybody bring it up, and it's like it's so obvious to me, and they all just overlook it. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's you tell me you're losing money. Okay, I believe that. It's crazy.
Mm,
Yeah,
I think he knows from when he started to now. I think he knows. He's got to know that the narrative is bullshit. The MOAS. And if you look over the last couple of months, he's kind of slowly easing in. Like first it was play the downside, start playing some puts to make some extra money.
right.
Then he called out the $100,000
Yep.
floor price. So it's like he's kind of slowly changing and trying to ease his community so that when this shit doesn't happen, he can be like, I told y'all. I was giving y'all the facts. I told y'all.
Right. Yeah.
And I
No,
think the
that's a good
stress of
point.
that might be weighing in on him because he's got to know. Because someone like him, too, is connected. Like he's been on Fox a bunch of times. He's been on MSNBC or CNBC. So he's connected. So he's got to know by now. Maybe in the beginning, he was a moon boy and believed it, but
Right.
by now he's got to know that it's bullshit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no question. I mean, like he's not stupid. He is not. He is not. It's not that he's stupid. Um, like some of the other people, like some of the other guys. Um, I mean, yeah, he had the good sense to trade options last year and cash those out. Like, you know, so I would be surprised. So this was January 28th. Let's see here. I want to look at let's see right here. So if he bought shares on January 28th, well, it was 14, a high of 15. So if he bought shares on January 28th, yeah, he's down a couple bucks. I mean, not crazy, but it was already pretty low then.
But it
But
had that pump to 30 plus, so he could have sold
he
out.
could have sold then, right?
When it
Yeah.
dropped, he could have got back in.
Yeah, or yeah, I mean,
He's
if
not showing
even
his position, the dates he bought the positions, and when he sold those options, he never told his community, like,
no,
I got out
yeah,
of a position.
that's yeah, that to
He was
me.
still pumping it
Yep,
like it was the hold or nothing narrative.
yep.
You only found out about the profit and the selling those options when he did that one interview.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's crazy, and like, that's the most shocking thing about it. Cause like I don't, you can't fault somebody for making money or trading options
Right.
on something like that. But when you are, on the other side of the coin, you are sitting there saying, I know, like I know it's going to squeeze in June, and I feel it, and I'm still holding, but you weren't, or
Right.
you were doing other things with it. You were trading other things, like actually trading them, like
And he's
completing
got a large
trades.
following.
Yeah.
So that's the definition of market manipulation, doing it for your personal gain.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I
I
mean?
guess that's true. Yeah. I mean it. Yeah. I mean, and it's all there. You can go back on his channel and you can look at all this shit. You can look at when did he do that Benzinga interview. You could piece it together and you could show. I think that you've a very good case for what you're saying. Like you could put together a pretty convincing argument that whether he meant to or not, whether it was his intention or not, his actions caused, were manipulative, essentially. That he profited off of that. Whether it was his ultimate aim or not, it doesn't really matter
Yeah.
in my mind.
Ignorance
It
of the
doesn't really
law
matter.
doesn't
No,
save you.
right, and does it doesn't matter what your intent was. If if you do something that's illegal, you didn't intend to. Well,
And
it's a mistake, but
in the
that's
chat, one of the guys says they want you to diamond hand to 100, then watch it fall back to 10. If it ever, first of all, it's never making a new all-time high. But it's just say it did get to 100, it would drop so quick. There'd be no way.
hmm
Once even if it gets to, look when it got to 30,
Yep.
it couldn't break that, what was it, 35 level, because people are getting close to even or close
Oh yeah.
enough to where they got the majority of their money back and they're getting the hell out.
Right. And I have on this chart, I have these boxes. They're marked off on major. The gray boxes are high volume areas. The red boxes are low volume areas. And you know that that pump and dump in at the end of March, it went right up to that high volume area. This gray high volume area. It went right up to it and popped back down immediately. So I mean, and that's not random. That is not random that happened that way. There's so much fucking volume here. There are so many people holding at this 30, 35, really 35 and up. But I mean, we just say 35 to like 45 region that, and as time goes on, that becomes more and more of a farther away in the rearview mirror of ever getting there, back up there. Yeah, that is not any type of coincidence whatsoever that basically hit that level and bounced off of it. Like that this is like, support and resistance at work. And really the same thing happened here too. Well, that was back in August, September, but it like these are the things about like chart analysis and stuff, that like you can look at. I wish I had that book map. If I had that book map that Jack Hunter has, you could see all this shit on there. You could see so much, and you could actually like fill in the picture of what's happening. But he doesn't even really explain it at all. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, there's so much supply up here that's being held that is just waiting to get out at any point that is, that they can feel better about. And that, like, to me, that, I mean, like I said, there's a million best arguments for why this is a fantasy, but that one to me is another really good one. You got so many people holding up here anytime it gets close, especially after it's been down here for so long. Like it had been down in like this near close to the single digits, like I don't know, below $20 for like 2 months, and then it popped up and came back down, and now it's doing the same thing. So what's going to happen the next time? And it's going to, it'll top out at like 25 next time probably.
Yeah, diminishing returns each pump.
Right. And you're going to shake out some more people.
And the only demand for AMC stock are the apes.
Right.
There's no short sellers stuck in positions. There's no institutional money coming in. The only ones that are buying the pumps are the apes. Every time it pumps up,
right,
and they unload their bags, the apes are there, some of them, to grab. They're just passing it back and forth to each other. And the institutions are just making money hand over fist.
Yeah, exactly.
The apes think that this narrative of synthetic shares, I mean, that's the only thing that they can grasp to give them some type of hope, because nothing else, there's no other options. You know what I mean? Like that synthetic share theory is the only thing that they can lean on, and that I can't believe they still believe that.
It makes no sense.
After all this time, Adam Aron has told them time and time again.
No, but
and then they look. You tell them no, and they look for. No, he said it this way. He's given us a secret sign. Like they're so far out of it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so speaking of which, we got Lord Nemesis here. He figured out the hidden message in Adam Aron's tweet. So, yeah.
All right, you guys. It took me a while to figure this out, but I think I've deciphered Adam Aron's tweets. Took a long time, but this is what I got. And by all means, just take this with a grain of salt, okay? But he says, inbound tweets ask over and over if I screw over AMC investors. I have counted 6 times in the past year. We know of 516.8 million AMC shares. Some of you believe the count is much higher. As I said before, suck my balls and enjoy buying more synthetic or fake shares. Okay, what does this mean? You guys tell me. I don't understand it. Is this good? Is this bad? Is this? Oh.
I mean, yeah, you got it decoded, but now now we have to interpret it. Oh boy, yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I really had to wonder, what is going through his mind, what he is thinking about this, because Adam Aron, that is, like, he probably thinks he's
don't
probably
indict
like,
me.
Yeah, don't indict me, right? Like my lawyer looked over all my statements. My lawyer reads all my tweets before I tweet them. You can't get me.
Mm-hmm.
They're, but just like off the cuff, like, and Adam, what do you think about this whole thing? Like, what do you think about these, you know, this group of retail investors? Well, I think they're crazy, or I think they're a bunch of idiots. He would never say that,
Yeah, I mean,
but you know,
but look what he's doing. He's invested in a gold company, a gold mine. He's invested in what's the other
oh yeah,
company he bought
the
shares in?
theater advertising. But he says that those shares were for free somehow. They didn't pay for those shares. I don't know how that
Mm.
worked out, but I'm sure somebody in the chat knows. But that's what Evergreens
Oh,
was saying.
and I think
That
yeah, it was something. I did see that. It was like a kickback kind of. They were saying.
right, right, exactly. Tanko Native says Mooners became like churches in the 1980s, selling healing, hope, and lies. Yeah, like those big mega churches, like the Hillsong and what's that other one?
Oh,
Crossroads Church and all those big ass like and the pastors are always they
where the preacher
always
would slap you on the head and you could get out of your wheelchair
oh
and shit,
those
or you were
yeah.
blind, he smack
Now
you in the head and you could see
if
again.
if people haven't seen this movie, I would suggest this movie. It's called Leap of Faith. It is a Steve Martin movie from the early '90s, and it's fantastic. And it 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 applies to AMC absolutely because he's one of those charlatan televangelist. Yeah, here it is. Here's the like the poster, Leap of Faith with Steve Martin, and he goes around and he does tent revivals, and he goes to these like Rust Belt towns, like where we live,
Mm-hmm.
where people are, down and out, really downtrodden, poor people, and he sets up this tent revival and he grifts them and he has people he plants people in the audience that are in wheelchairs and they come up and he heals them and shit and it's fake. And it's a good movie.
Plays on people's despair.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of has like there is a bit of a metamorphosis, in the movie. Like, it's a story, like it is an actual like it has a it's not just that, there other shit happens. But anyway, I'm trying to remember when this came out. I guess it's a musical too. That would be a good musical, but um yeah. So anyway, but that reminds me of that, right? So that would yeah, like the tent revival or the TV preachers like Benny, what's his name, Benny Hinn or Tammy Faye Baker, and like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
700 Club, all this shit that on TV, AM radio. We were talking about AM radio. Um, so yeah, and then like the evolution of that is like what I was thinking of, like that happened in the '90s and 2000s, is these mega churches, like these churches where like 2,000 people show up and on a Sunday, and these pastors, preachers, whatever, they're always embroiled in scandals too. One of them that I'm thinking of was the one that was buddies with Justin Bieber. This kid happened a couple years ago. He's a young youth pastor. I forget his name, and he was somehow hooked up, like not hooked up, but somehow became friends with Justin Bieber. And Justin Bieber was like, this guy like latched onto Justin Bieber and like rode his coattails. Well, there was some scandals and allegations and stuff, and there always are uh, with that because they make so much money. They make so much fucking money. There's no way it's on the up and up. Or um, Dave Ramsey is another one. He's a total charlatan grifter. He's the Christian like financial advisor. Or Susie Ormond.
It's an
Or
oxymoron. Christian
yeah, right,
financial advisor.
right, yeah, it is. Let's see here. He told the dudes at Wyckoff Mining the apes would raise the capital they needed. Right, and Model 3 dude said that they have not, I think it was him, said that they are still not mining gold. They're still not pulling gold out of the earth. Um
Yeah, I didn't think it was a working mine at this point.
I didn't think it was either, but so here, Lord Nemesis says, when I was a delivery driver, once I delivered to a church where the pastor was doing an exchange for narcotics using the church's money. I mean, that, I totally believe that. Now, what were you delivering? Were you delivering the product, or were you delivering like office supplies? Don't incriminate yourself. Don't answer that. Remember, if the first pattern in the chart doesn't work, just say it's building into another pattern. Subscribe for more. Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah, their TA is the worst, dude. All they do is draw bullshit.
And move the lines. They move the lines. I remember when Trey and Matt Kohrs and Jack Hunter, they would, the whole thing was this wedge pattern, right? This bullish wedge pattern that was supposed to be setting up last year here. So they would do this. They would do this. They would put this here like this. Well, they would put this here like that. And they would put another one here like this. And it's a wedge, and it's going to break out to the upside. Well, but then it breaks out to the downside. So then what they do is they just go ahead and take this line, take the bottom line, and just go ahead and move it down like here. Okay, now it's a bullish wedge. See?
Oh yeah.
Now it's going to break out to the upside. See? And then it breaks out to the downside more. It's like you're just chasing the the patterns on the chart, and then of course you get the point in the cycle, not the price cycle. Fucking garbage. That's garbage too. But you get the point in their grift cycle where, or this would happen more in the community on Reddit and stuff, in the comments on YouTube. They'd say, well, TA doesn't apply to this. You can't use TA. So why you even bother working about the TA? And that's usually when, it was breaking down and it wasn't doing anything that they were saying. That's when they would badmouth
Yeah, they're full of
TA.
contradictions.
But then, once it was like, I don't even know where, maybe here or something, they'd be like, oh yeah, see, the TA supports this. The TA supports it. Like, again, it's like, I've said this like the last 3 streams. It's like people in Pennsylvania saying stop the count, and people in Arizona saying count every vote. Both supporting the same candidate. One of them wants to stop it. The other one wants to continue counting the votes. It's like, it's such a crazy fantasy that you have people saying anything that they can to,
yeah, all logic goes out the window
to just to get another shot
because
of
they
opium.
want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want it so bad to be right because they bought into the dream of being financial, like, because they really do believe they'll never have to work again. They'll be stinking rich, wealthy, and these people have believed it with their whole being, and now it's like they can't wake up to the reality of the situation. When they finally do, it's going to be nasty.
Yeah, and you and I, and we've all been talking about that for, like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy for that, but like, it's like, if you idolize a movie star or a musician or artist or something, and you think that they're like the just like a model person and they're a good person and all this stuff, and then you find out that they like beat their wife, or they're a drug addict, or they overdose on drugs and die or something, and it changes your whole, like, everything that you thought about them was all fake, was all, you had the wrong impression, essentially. And and that happens, but that's why,
This
I've
is
said.
just like how
Go ahead.
Bernie Madoff.
Oh, yeah, Bernie Madoff.
Like
True.
Like when that collapsed, how bad it was.
Yeah,
I think this is going to be bad because a lot of these people that are involved are middle to lower class families on
Right.
on the income level, and this is going to hurt. And some people, not only did their retirement switched it to all AMC, some of these people sold their cars, houses, you know, other belongings just to get money to put into this play. And when
Right.
this doesn't happen, it's not just money loss. Some of these people are going to lose their retirement funds, like
People have borrowed money against
homeless.
their house. They borrowed money against their houses, you know, or
Yeah, it's just
other things like, you know, like
because they were told it's going to happen last year. No way it goes past the summer, then no way by November, Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then the new year. And now we're into next year.
right.
So this is when it does go bad, I'm interested to see who they actually blame. Are they going to still think that some ghost, shadowy, nefarious figure behind the scenes, the hedgies, did this to them? Or will they actually wake up to the fact that they were duped and lied to
I think you'll have
by the
some people that
people?
do, but we have to think that these grifters they're going to they're going to play it, you know, they're going to continue doing what they're doing probably. So they're going to blame everybody else, you know. They're going to blame, you know, the market or whatever, or the hedge funds or the SEC or whoever, Ken Griffin, the puppet master. So there are going to be, like, I'd say maybe 60% of people are going to continue listening to these people, and they're going to convince them that you know, yeah, it was corrupt Wall Street. It was you know, Wall Street. Wall Street did it. They played us. They played us. They played all of us. Um, and reality
And
is that
then, like you see
they played him
online,
like a fiddle. They played him like a fucking fiddle.
mhm,
But that's, you know, like that is that, like, it's the oldest fucking trick in the book, really. You know, like, this shit has been going on since there have been markets. This is nothing new. Nothing new. So I don't know.
and
You know,
you see like posts on Reddit and like Twitter where like some of them are like a call to violence. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yep,
most of them are just internet bullshitters. But there's going to be some people that are really fucking desperate and snap.
there are people that do horrible things for much smaller reasons, for no reason at all, for personal, you know. So I agree, and you know, I try not to talk or think about that even, because it's you know, like, I, I agree. I know that you're right about that, but you know,
And some people, how about all the posts that said where they've said, I invested behind my wife or husband's back. You know, or they don't know how I told them I stopped in buying shares, but I've still secretly bought behind their
oh
back.
God,
So when it moasses, I'll be proven right. You know what I mean? You see those type of posts, and it's like
mm-hmm,
when it goes, but there's going to be some people that snap, and whether they harm themselves or just go ape shit on the news,
right.
you know, it's going to be bad.
I mean,
In reality, they only had themselves to blame. They didn't do, yeah, they were duped, but at a certain point, you got to take some self responsibility and double check the shit. Like, you're really only just believing somebody on YouTube
right.
that basically tells you in the beginning, everything I say in this message is not financial advice
Right.
and is entertainment.
I'm not a financial
And then
advisor. I'm
after
not a
that,
professional. I don't know what I'm talking about. But having said that, AMC is going to go to the fucking moon.
yeah.
Like, what?
And having said that, they immediately give financial advice,
Mm-hmm.
and these people believe it. It's like, who do you blame? Them? But you got to take some personal accountability. Like,
Oh, you have
it's
to.
fucked
Yeah.
up. It's just a fucked
Right.
up situation. I think it's so far. Some of these people are in so deep. And they over this past year, they could have had chances to make some of their money back, like playing puts, swing trading
Right.
it.
Hell, trading
You know,
fucking index funds. SPY,
or shit, just
QQQ.
when it popped up to 30 some, just get out
Oh,
of the
yeah.
position totally.
Right. Yeah.
And just say whatever I lost, I lost. I got the majority of it back or half of it back. I'm good.
Well, that's the whole myth that I've been trying to bust for a while called it doesn't cost me anything to hold. It doesn't cost anything to hold.
But
And
that's so dumb.
that's
It
completely
does. But
wrong.
it's not.
Yep. Yep.
That makes no sense. And they think what they've done. They've had their community buy into the fact that it doesn't cost anything to hold, no matter how much value it loses.
Your audio just kind of dropped out. Bottom of it dropped out.
They've had. Can you hear me?
Yeah. It's just got real hollow sounding.
Yeah, that shit ass phone. But
okay.
They've had their community buy into the fact that the holding costs nothing, no matter how much value it loses. That don't look at the price. The price means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They've trained them, and it's impressive, kind of. They've trained them not to look at the things you're supposed to look at. Like, they disregard everything you're supposed to look at. And it's crazy that they bought into it.
Yeah.
It's just, and not only that, but now they come out with, you got GME, and then you've got the new flavor of the day, Red Box. It was, a whole bunch of other plays here and there, like BBIG, Adder, Wish,
Sundial.
Sundial, a bunch of other ones, and it's like their big community shrinks when there's so many options to choose from. So the small power they did have is now divided so much because some of the community's gotten into different planes. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not as big a community as they once were, and I think that's what's doomed them too. They don't have the power. They don't have the power and numbers they used to have.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's true too, and I mean, you can't discount the overall economic situation either. I mean that like nobody really foresaw. I mean, we knew that there was going to be inflation based on the the events of the last 2 years. Like that's I mean, and I'm most people are like were thinking it was going to happen sooner than it did, and the market was going to react sooner, but it didn't. But then you had the Russia situation. Nobody foresaw that. I certainly didn't. So, and that added to those pressures that were already there. And all of and then like we've been saying, like who is gonna buy? Who's gonna do the buying? It's like the guy was saying, Diamond Dave. Was that his name? Diamond Dave. We were watching last night. They expect somebody else to do the buying, or they say, "Well, I'll buy if they push it down below 10, I'm going to buy a shitload of shares. They better watch out." And it's like, well, but if it's if it's going to go to $1,000 already, why would you wait? Why do you need to wait until it gets to $10? Like that's foolish because you're saying that you're going to do it in the future. Just do it now. Just put the pressure on now. I think the reality is they can't.
It's a couple dollars per share.
Right.
Difference if it's going to shoot up to that much.
Yeah, if you're so convinced,
doesn't matter anything.
If you're so convinced, buy it at the top the next time it pops up, But that's not going to happen. It's going to be, but that's really what should happen. It's like if you're trying to engineer a short squeeze, but I mean, I just don't think like it's literally the volume is literally like 20 times less than it was last June. So, because you had like a 700 million share of volume, 600, 500. It's like 30 million now, 25 million. 100 million is like huge now.
Liquidity is dried up.
And that's
there's no
right
money.
So
to push that volume.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, and Antoinette said something a minute ago, which is I think
I think you said
yeah, I just put it on
the
this.
same way the AMC should be the same way the end AMC.
Oh, I didn't see that. No, I was talking about Roaring Kitty made his GameStop money. Keith Gill was the winner in this game. AMC was the broke people play. And I think is it you that was saying that, or was it maybe it was Manuel? I mean, maybe both of you were saying it in different ways. Like AMC, and I've heard it said this way. This is the classic way. AMC was a poor man's GME.
Yeah, because people could afford it at the time.
Because people could afford it at the time, and and you have to think too. Also, like the original DD that Keith Gill did, who by the way was a financial advisor. It was on GameStop, right?
He didn't like AMC. Yeah, he didn't like AMC. He said AMC is not part of his analysis.
Yeah.
So when these apes cheer, the AMC apes cheer Roaring Kitty, he didn't like AMC as a play.
Yep.
And who knows if he's still in GME?
Yeah, I mean, well, there was that one dude who said that Keith Gill or that Roaring Kitty showed up in his chat, quote unquote, showed up in his chat, and that shows that he's still holding AMC and GME. And I mean, I can only assume he was joking. I mean, but it's like
no, apparently it was during like the investors call or shareholder meeting or something like that. That someone with the screen name, I guess,
right,
DFD or whatever, came into the chat or something and said, "I'm still here" or something like that. But
yes,
that didn't mean it was him. Anybody can
right.
change
Well,
their.
And that speaks to the, what you were saying earlier about people believing these no-name people on the internet, and it's just like, okay, these are random people, anonymous people, essentially, like, especially if they have a name like the Masked Investor or Short the VIX, you have no clue who they are, or some stupid name on Reddit like helpful antelope 4374 on Reddit, to service 6152, or just all these stupid ass names. Confident grass 6381, zealous ideal, like top service, vegetable. Okay, that could be a real one. There's a pattern to some of these names, like vast advantage 7931, like. Okay. I don't know. Like I'm 39 years old. I had the internet in the 90s on dial up, I've been on the internet for a long time. There used to be a thing that was called "Don't believe what you see on the computer, on the internet. Don't believe what," especially when it comes to money. Like, what happened to that? I feel like even in the 2000s, that was a thing still. Like, oh, where'd you hear that? Oh, on the internet? Oh, you can't know. Don't trust. Like, that's on the, somebody on the internet said that. Oh, okay. But now it's like.
They got financially catfished.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's basically, yeah. I mean, it's basically just a more sophisticated Nigerian prince scam, essentially. Like, if you remember that,
yeah.
Like, or chain email, chain letters,
Yeah.
Like
$50 million in the bank if you send me $500.
Or the gift card scam. Oh, I got all these extra Google Play Store cards. I can't, but I can't cash them, so I'll send them to you, and you send me they're for 2,000. You send me $500 back. You keep 1,500 of it.
I'll even take it back further. How about when you were young and the guys that would stand at the mall with the fake gold change and tell you, my girlfriend works at the jeweler upstairs and she took these. I'm just trying to make some money and unload them real quick.
Yeah.
As soon as you bought them and took them home, it just would turn green, man. The same philosophy.
Yep. Oh yeah. Or I mean, in New York City, Chinatown, buying a Rolex on the street. But I mean, that I always knew that though. Like I bought a Rolex on the street in Chinatown because it was a Chinatown Rolex. Like I knew what it was, and I haggled them down. And it was like a souvenir basically. I wasn't buying it like thinking that I was getting a good deal on something real. So, but but there are people. Oh, you want Michael Kors? Michael Kors back. Oh, I got Michael Kors. Michael Kors here. Oh my God, Michael Kors. Wow. And like people who have never been to New York City, people who have never experienced that or bought things on the street before. That's like these investors that come into the market. Oh, wow, it's going to go up to $1 million a share. Oh shit. Yeah. Give me 1,000. Give me 10,000. It's the same thing.
Yeah, the people let their greed trick them out of their money.
Right. Yep. That's right. Antoinette says, I don't. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
She said, I don't hate. They were talking about hating AMC, I guess. And she says, I don't hate AMC. I still have my shares. But she's getting rid of half the position soon.
Yeah, but she's been playing different plays to try to make some of her money back. Like she's been playing
right.
Small strategies here. And
she
there,
knows.
So she's at least trying to make her money back and not just sitting on a lame duck, basically. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she's aware of the situation. She's not saying she's going to hold until some 100K or some crazy shit.
Right. Yep. See, Tony Tenko's here, and he says, AMC T-shirts advisor are pitching fake prediction and promoting and making money on our views. AMC's in the grave. And I mean, we say it like this: no ass, the no ass. And I tried to get in on the T-shirt grift, but I was too late, and that was like right when I went back to work was when all that Ken Griffin lied shit came out, and everybody that was the hot thing. Ken Griffin lied, and I mean, I was gonna sell Ken Griffin lied T-shirts, and I did a design, did a couple designs, set up a Teespring store, but I just didn't have time. Like I literally went back to work, and then you have to promote that shit. Like it has to get out there. So I didn't ever did anything with it, but that could have been very lucrative, I think. Like obviously it wouldn't have been under my name, like it wouldn't have been in any way connected to me personally. Just a random
those, T-shirt hustles, what is it, Spring Tea or whatever?
Teespring.
You don't have to put up any money.
No, you don't. No, you don't. They take a cut.
Half of the sales money.
Oh, yeah.
So it costs you nothing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it will never cost you anything, and you can even get a discount if you want to buy one, like so that you can like wear it on your stream or whatever. They'll give you a break on buying like merchandise for yourself too. So yeah, I mean there's really nothing to lose by doing that. And they don't make the stuff until there's an order, so you don't have to you don't have to pay for like an initial inventory or stock of it or whatever. But yeah, if only I had more time to promote that. Just I need like a week of like getting it out there and promoting it. But I didn't have it, and then so. But some people did though. some people did have, I saw a bunch that popped up on Twitter, people selling Ken Griffin Lied merchandise and, you know, whatever else. But I mean, yeah.
These apes will spend money on the dumbest shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like they'll send a YouTuber and look, whatever, supporting someone you like on stream or whatever, that's cool. But like I've seen early streams of Matt Kohrs when people would send him hundreds, $500 super chat,
Oh, yeah.
$200. That's crazy.
It is. And
that is insane.
some of them
I'm not giving nobody $500.
No, hell no.
This type of shit.
Especially at a time like like March, April, May, when, you know, that was like when everything was happening. And it kind of makes sense though, because that's when emotions were like, that's when everybody was happy. Everybody was excited. They had extra money in their pocket. Like, so they had the disposable, quote unquote, they had it. I mean, it wasn't real and they didn't really have it, but I mean, you know, like it was gonna, they weren't gonna hold on to it either way. So it was gonna, you know, it was gonna have to go somewhere, because there's no way that people would actually save it. But anyway,
they could have put it to such better
they could have bought 10 AMC shares at $50 for that, with that $500.
Right.
And you know, I mean, it may have ended up being just as worthless, but you know, at least then they contributed to the thing. You know, like they added their you know, thing to it. But I mean, here's a post on Reddit just called "Despite What Happens Next." I think we did something pretty special. The average Joe stepping up against Wall Street in a more sophisticated way than camping out at Zuccotti Park. The news only talking about protesters using local store bathrooms and not paying. Here we are, from the comfort of our own toilets, banding together as brethren and sistren against tyranny and clapping back. In a time of evolved but sneaking authoritarianism throughout the world, the pandemic, the war, and the political issues weighing us all down, we found a light in dark times, some hope. That we are right in our assumptions and proven so. We've been on the metaphorical beaches of Normandy, getting completely wasted by the enemy, but to much avail of our own. We have found that people united under a common cause can persevere. No violence, only determination. That the allies from all walks of life saw evil and sought to end it. I don't know how this will end. I know how I want it to, obviously, with all of us finding freedom and prosperity from the system, with the ability to bring as many fellow apes with us into a heaven mindset as we shoot for the moon. We shall see soon, though. I hope we can look back on these times many years from now when we told them rich assholes that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom, and be proud of how far we've come. They are charging towards us with heavy cavalry. We must hold. I mean, this is like apes are changing the world, you know, nonsense. Like that I could not listen to from Short Squeeze channel last night. Like, this is so lofty. It's like, you know, grandiose narcissism. It's like, yeah, you're changing the fucking system. You're changing the system. What are you changing? What the fuck are you changing? Let's see, where is it? Yeah. Allies from all walks of life saw evil and sought to end it. I mean, okay. Like, and I'm the first person to say, like, Wall Street, or, you know, I'll quote fat man, the gangsters, they're motherfucking gangsters. I mean, Wall Street is you know, yeah, Wall Street sucks. I fucking hate them. I hate Wall Street. I really despise them. I despise the system. You know, I don't like it. But the way that I have chosen to, you know, deal with it is I want to learn as much about it as I can. We've talked about this. And, you know, make money and not just get taken like most people do. I never wanted to be one of the 90% of people who day trade who end up blowing up their accounts and leaving the market forever. Like, that was the worst, you know. I knew that going in, and I intentionally, like, did everything I could to learn and to try to be an informed trader, investor, like that's how you fight it. In my eyes, that's how you fight it. You learn as much about it as you can, and instead of fighting it, you're basically, riding the coattails of the institutions and big money and whatever else. Like this idea of all the little guys banding together, it sounds like a movie. It sounds like a
Yeah.
movie that would be playing at AMC, like this underdog story type movie, like there's so many of. Uh, that's what it sounds like, but it's not a fucking movie. It's not. It's worse than that. It's worse than any movie would ever be. Like, they would never portray it how it actually is in this movie, because we don't even know. We have no clue. It's an opaque market. It's run by computers, run by a puppet master, whatever. Well, we don't really know. We don't actually know that. We don't actually know the way that most of this shit works. We know we're told, but we don't know the algorithms. We don't know. We don't even know
But here's
who's shorting a stock. We don't know who's shorting AMC. Everybody assumes it's Citadel. Nobody knows that,
uh,
actually. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know that. So
but
I guess
here's
I'm
the
just saying
thing.
it's just all made up, essentially.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They got into a game that they've never played before.
Yeah.
The majority of them have never played before, don't know the rules,
Yeah.
don't use their time to educate themselves on how the rules pertain to this game and how to play it. They come right in as a newcomer and think it should cater to them.
Right.
It's literally like wanting to play chess with checkers rules and wondering why you're losing the chess game. Like they have no idea, and like they really think that it should uh cater to them. Like I should be able. Like no one owes you shit if
Right.
you don't even put the time and effort in to research and educate yourself how shit works instead of just taking some YouTuber or some Reddit thread or Twitter information and thinking it works like that. You deserve to get tricked out of your money. I mean, the level of narcissism is insane. Just to think that
Right.
they never were, the majority of apes never were in the stock market prior to COVID,
Right.
and they come in with no
Mm-hmm.
idea how it works and think immediately that everything should work for their benefit, and they shouldn't have to put in the time or effort to learn.
Right. Yeah, and
It's
and that somehow, like they don't realize that every aspect of the capital markets exists to make money. Like that's why, like, the stock exchange is a for-profit entity. The DTC is a for-profit, entity. Citadel is a for-profit entity. All of the banks are for-profit entities. Like, it's not like it's a public market in that sense. Like, it's run by the government and they're not taking a cut or whatever. No. Like, everybody's there to make money. They're not there to, like, make it
yeah,
fair. They're not there, like you said, to cater to the little guy. They're not there to say, "Oh, wait, hold on, Goldman Sachs. No, no, no. You got to slow down a minute. Slow down a minute, King Griffin. We got to let the little guy get some." No, it's not how it works. Like, it's capitalism. It's cutthroat. It's winner take all. It's grab as much as you can and get the fuck out, and then keep keep doing that essentially. Like,
yeah. The market is not a place to solve society's issues.
right.
It's
Yeah.
to make money.
Right. And
To
it
try to uh, politics have no place in the market. Like it's simple as that, and that's what they're trying to do. You got a bunch of these fundamental, like, I don't know how to say it, but like do-gooders, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
want to change the world, make it and think that it's not going to happen. This is money. That's all it is,
right,
plain and simple.
right. Yeah. I mean, and there's beyond just the fact that it's like,
There's no values, no ethic, no morals. It's money.
right. Yeah. I mean,
That's the market.
they've all seen The Wolf of Wall Street. They've all seen Wall Street. They've all seen, they've seen The Big Short. That's a little different in terms of the way that they think about that. Like they literally think they're in The Big Short, like somehow. But but
Yeah, they got
I
that
point
movie
out that
all called
they're not the ones
screwed up.
shorting it. Like they're not the ones who are short. Like that right there is like, okay, that analogy is dead in the water. Like it's not, no. But maybe they think they're Burry because they're autistic. I don't know. Like it doesn't make
Yeah, they
sense.
think it's
No. They think they're special.
they think
Not
it's a
Oh,
really
us version.
special. They think
there
they're
she is.
special. Here I am. You asked for it, you got it. They think they're special. And instead of having to work and plan and do all the hard stuff that life makes you do when you're an adult, they think that they can just sit and hold one stock and this miracle is going to happen and they're all going to be millionaires and never have to lift a finger or do any work. They're just going to cruise around in their
Because they think
Lambos and
they're
whoop it
owed.
up. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, it's entitlement. It's
exactly.
this entitlement mentality of like, why should I have to work? Why should anything be hard for me? It should all be easy for me. It should be given to me because I was always told that I deserve it. And a lot of that was fed just societally, but a lot of it also was fed through Reddit.
Yeah.
And this
So
is
let's talk
why
about the toxic viper pit that can be Reddit, especially
see this is why
the
when you're
AMC
young
Reddit subs.
and you play sports, this new age shit about not keeping score and everybody gets a trophy. You don't teach kids how to lose. You know what I mean? Like they've never experienced losing,
Right. Everyone
and they
gets a
don't know
trophy.
how to
Everyone gets a
deal with it.
MOAS.
It's
You know
not
what I
a
mean?
bad
Like
Everyone gets a
thing.
you have to
million.
learn that you're not the best at something. Okay, and you're not as good as somebody else. You have to learn, okay, and deal with it. They've never had to do that. Like this new age shit of everybody wins, everybody gets a trophy. There's no score take. Shit don't work because then you raise a bunch of entitled assholes that don't think they should lose because they've never lost anything before.
Yeah, and the
Maybe that's
reality
looking
is
into it too
There's no
much.
incentive. There's no incentive to understand how things work in the world, and not just the stock market, but science, art, culture, social norms.
hey, Lynn, the
Just like,
truth is
why do I need to know that? I don't need to know that. It's going to work around me. I'm just
the,
going to sit here and the world's going to rotate around me.
the truth is like poetry, and everybody fucking hates poetry, okay? So but and the thing is, the ultimate irony is about what we're talking about now, I think, is that it's when you lose, when you don't succeed, that's when you actually learn. That's when you have the opportunity to
Exactly.
fucking learn, actually. When you
Because you don't want to
cheat your
lose
way
again.
into when you cheat your way into quote unquote winning, or tell yourself that you won when you actually lost, it's like a quadruple disservice to yourself, because you're not only not facing reality, you're not taking the opportunity that anybody who's great at anything. I I don't care whether it's sports or music or any trade or skill, they will tell you that they were not always good. In fact, they sucked when they started, and they trudged through it for so long, and they dealt with not succeeding and not winning for a long time, and it was in that process that they actually, like, the diamond in the rough, like, happened, you know? And I
Yep.
know that, in my life that's true, and everybody's got their own thing where they've experienced that. But yeah, it's in this, like, instantaneous gratification world that we have now, that is getting lost. There's no question that is getting lost. And it's not good, you know. Because how do you ever develop anything? How do you ever, how do people get to be good traders? Like, how do these people get to be like, $1 million traders? Well, they worked their ass off and they lost a lot of fucking money over the years. They blew up their accounts dozens of times, and every time they did, they learned something different, learned something new, and they built on that every time. And now, so yeah, it's really, this can't be overstressed, I don't think. This cannot be stressed
And
enough. Yeah, go ahead.
another thing is that I believe they think the community thinks that if if this doesn't pan out, that somehow they'll be rescued, like a bailout or
Oh yeah, like they won't let
stimulus
they
type
quote
shit.
unquote, they won't let it go down, like without, like, because so many people are involved and they'll be so mad. I mean, I've heard that, I've seen that a lot
Right.
too. Yeah. Like,
Just like and because they figure like because during the pandemic they froze evictions and made it so people didn't have to pay their bills. That's why,
right.
that's
And
partly
that's
why
what,
we're in the mess we're in now.
well, and that's what
But
allowed
they
AMC
really, I
to
think they
get
believe,
so many buyers before too, was all that liquidity, all that money, all that stimulus. And so,
yeah, you didn't have
in
to
a
pay
way, they're
bills,
still
so
high from
you
those
could get your money
vapors.
into something.
They're still sniffing they're still huffing those vapors, I think, to some
But
degree.
I really do think they think that if it doesn't, worst case scenario, even if we lose, I don't think they can't let it fail. Too many people, and I really don't think that many people are in it that were in it, say, a year ago. I think there's a lot less people that are in it now.
Oh,
But I
I'm
really
sure.
think they believe that somehow they'll be bailed out, and they can't let us just lose all the
Well,
money. And
always
there's going to
talk
be a
about
lot of people.
2008. They always talk about 2008. Who got bailed out in 2008? It wasn't it wasn't the 12 million people who lost their houses. It was
It's
not
never
them.
the little guy.
So what are they thinking? What the fuck are they sniffing? I mean,
They don't understand. It's never the little guy. They always bail out the big guy because you got to keep the big guy going because the machine needs to keep going. You can't stop the machine. So they're going to bail out the big guy, and the little guy's always going to get fucked. That's why I don't understand why they haven't grasped this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I feel bad for people that change their 401ks into all AMC, all meme stocks, and because I really think it's going to turn out bad. And I hate to see, I mean, as much as I hate the apes, it's just, it's going to affect a lot more people than just the people that invested their money. It's going to affect their families, and it's going to be fucked up.
Lynn, what do you think about that?
I think that a big part of why the AMC movement was able to sweep in, suck in as many people as it was, is the steady diet of propaganda that was fed to the listening public. And I mean, things like, and this had to come from somewhere. This stuff did not, I do not believe, spontaneously generate out of many minds of AMC, future bag holders. The I hold for you, you hold for me, apes stronger together, all this, we're a family, we're a group. We're not, no, you're in a family. You don't even know each other. When it's time to move your refrigerator, you think any other apes are going to fly across the country to help you?
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
they're not your friends. They're not your family. They're a bunch of people, through a common
A bunch
denominator
of
on the
heathens.
internet. And but that's very compelling, especially when people are in the middle of a pandemic and everyone's isolated and quarantined and hasn't seen their actual family and friends for a while. It's very comforting and it's very enticing to feel like you've got this instant, ready-made, tight-knit, hold for you, hold for me family that's got your back, and you're all going to be millionaires together and go to Vegas and woohoo, big party. So it's kind of like it's psyops, you know, it's a psychological programming by
Yep.
repetitively feeding people these statements to make them believe that there's this bond and there's this community and they're all going to hold for each other. You know, the guy who has 1 million shares is going to hold for the guy who has 2 shares, and it'll
Yeah.
just somehow all even out in the wash.
They call those
So
baby
Lynn-
apes.
it's almost like a
Baby apes.
yeah, it's
They're-
almost
Yeah,
like
but-
a CIA operative kind of tactic. Seriously,
yeah.
probably not anymore because it's outdated. There's much more modern
Yeah, but
psyops
Lynn-
that they can use, but it's very much psychological warfare and brainwashing, really, if you want to, you know, let me call it what it is. So I think a lot of people were brainwashed into feeling this sense of security and family and community,
But
and
it
we're all gonna be
did.
millionaires and it's gonna be great, and all we have to do is hold to, you know, hold to the moon or hold to zero. It doesn't matter because we're going to hold for each other and we're family and it's stronger together. And that was the first thing that turned me off when I was still holding AMC stock. And
Yeah, but it did squeeze.
when I started hearing
It's
that kind of
35X last
conversation,
year.
I sold quickly after that. I thought, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this because it's psychologically damaging and really kind of dangerous. So the people who were promoting all that kind of rhetoric and propaganda, they should really be ashamed of themselves because they sucked in a lot of people who were very vulnerable at that point in time by using a rhetoric that I'm sure they knew was effective. And that's what I have to say about that. Thank you for the soapbox.
I agree.
Anytime.
It did 35X last year. People just didn't. These people either weren't in it or just didn't sell. They had a chance to get rich. They just, or at least make money. They just didn't.
Yeah, they could have.
And
They
the
could
part- I
have
do-
made
I
a
do
decent
agree
amount of
with
money
what you're saying.
and then use that to, you know, roll it up. And you know, just like I was trading with $2,000. Now I've got $22,000 to trade with. And you know this
Yeah.
probably better
And
than I
I
do.
agree with Lynn
If you
saying.
get more capital you have, the more money you can make. You know, that's kind of how it works. It takes money to make money. So, but you have to
I
actually
agree with Lynn
trade. You have to
saying because
complete the
they did
trades.
preach that.
Yeah.
They were preaching that all for one, one for all bullshit, which was a total BS. But in that, it's like they got some people got a chance and they let
Right.
their greed just, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. For
Like
sure.
me,
Well,
I had a
being
chance.
greedy is a whole nother it's a whole nother, you know, tentacle on the octopus or head on the Cerebus or however you want to, you know, we're gonna analogy you want to make. Greed was definitely a factor that,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I made a profit. I didn't make a huge profit. I made a small profit, but I was very happy to have that small profit. You have to at some point say, okay, you know, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Let's take the bird that we have and get out of here because it's seeming a little unrealistic. So yeah, there was some psyops, there was some greed, there was some misinformation, there was some social disconnect going on. There were so many things that came together in this perfect storm to suck people in. And while, yes, we're all responsible for our own financial decisions and all of our decisions that we make in life, when you're vulnerable and you encounter somebody who's got a really good pitch, it doesn't matter if it's a relationship pitch or an investment pitch or, you know, a timeshare condo pitch or whatever, it's very seductive and it's very easy for people who are vulnerable to be drawn in to these pitches of, you go into it thinking this sounds too good to be true, but wow, there's so much hype around it. I got to check it out. And then enter, you know, FOMO. Nobody wants to be the one that didn't make $1 million because they sold too early or they didn't buy in at all. So yeah, P.T. Barnum said there's a sucker born every minute, and it's true. But the fact is that people were very vulnerable when this all came crashing together into this perfect storm of retail investor, you know, debacle.
Oh, wait a minute, Lynn, we
And
have
the people who were vulnerable and got sucked in, those are the ones I feel sorry for. Yeah, they should have known better, but you know, I know what it feels like to be that vulnerable person and to fall for something that you really know can't be real, but at the same time, it's like, you know, it seems like it's the only game in town. So, and we learn the hard way from that. It's a hard lesson to learn. It's a really hard, embarrassing lesson, but hopefully you only have to learn it once. So
I think that's the one thing I would say that would have been the best thing for people to learn from this whole experience is not to is to, however you can do it, is to resist that feeling of greed. And if you see a you know a good profit in your account on your position, take it, grab it, lock it in, take it off the table. You can always get back in later. You can always trade something else, but you know we've seen it's never gotten back to those highs. You know, it's never gotten back to half of the all-time high. So, you know, that's really what the YouTubers, if they had been interested in teaching people, helping people, they would have said. And I wish now that I had, you know, had this idea to do this channel like in May or June of last year, because I would have said, you know, if you have a profit now, you should take that profit. You know, this I hold for you, you hold for me garbage. It's garbage because it's not a team sport. This is not a team sport. You cannot
The
count.
people that were pitching it didn't even hold.
They
Mac
right,
sold and
exactly. They didn't. It's rules for thee, not for me. They didn't even
Yeah.
abide by it. They profited off of it because they were telling everybody to hold, but they didn't. But that's the one thing
And they
that
never told the
everybody should have
community
learned.
that they sold.
No, they didn't, and they didn't tell their community that they sold. You know, so not only did they instill these terrible habits, and that's another problem that I have with these influencers, which is the whole point of my channel, is to call these fucking influencers out, because I think they've really done a disservice to, like Lynn was saying, to the vulnerable people, to the people that don't know, they had no clue, they got, you know, they got into it, whatever. And yes, it is their responsibility, but it's also there needed to be something other than, because all I do is I search for AMC on YouTube. This is I search for AMC, not for AMC squeeze, MOAS, nothing. Just AMC. The only thing that comes up, the only thing that has ever appeared in this fucking search result is all this fucking hyper bullish garbage. And that to me is a problem. That is a problem. The fact that this is all of the shit that is out there is all this nonsense. Like, yes, it's people's responsibility to be informed, but when all there is on here is all of this one-sided stuff that is uninformed, that's a problem. So what can I do about it? Well, I can use my voice, my small voice, to to try to say, to put a counterpoint out there, to show the other side, to bring light to all of the errors that they make time and time again, and it is a fucked up situation. At the end of the day,
and not to
It's
put
kind of like
oh,
deceptive
not to put you
advertising.
find a
Like with cigarettes
we need call
in
signals.
the early days, they marketed them without telling you there was any negative effects on your health.
right. Yeah.
So it's almost like they're marketing this AMC and not even mentioning any risk at all. Like there is no downside mentioned. It's all
No, they literally
like you
said, when do you have the opportunity to buy a lottery ticket that you know is a winner? Because that's what this is. That's what they said. They said that, like, word for word. This is a guaranteed winning lottery ticket. Why would you not buy one if you know it's going to win? And like it's just like, no, there's no guarantees of anything in the fucking life in general, but certainly in the fucking stock market, there's no guarantees. And you see that, and it's like they're surprised by that. Like, I saw a post on Reddit. It was like, why are they? No, yeah, it's right here. Shit, I just went back, but this one here, the new fundamentals. talking about the action that has been happening the last few weeks or lack thereof is a clear sign that AMC has been trading off of fundamentals. Ha, this shit is funny. Blockbuster after blockbuster, earnings beats, gold mines. I mean, shit, who doesn't want to sell their stocks, right? They can't get it any lower. They are scared to death to let it run. I mean, there's so many like misconceptions right there, and that much of it. Like for example, like the stock prices they don't reflect now. Like it's not pricing to now, it's pricing to the future, discounted to now. Like that's a basic fundamental feature of the market, that they just don't know because they've never learned that. They've never been told that. They've just been told, oh, well, clearly it's manipulated because look, we have Top Gun. It's the best movie ever in the history of the world. And so why would the stock price only be $12? Well, there's a reason for that, but yeah, I mean, I think that's a good, analogy, the smoke cigarettes thing. Because they knew that it was harmful to health in the 60s, and they suppressed that information, and it wasn't promoted and stuff. And so what could people do but trust the information that was out, which was wrong, But ultimately, it did come out that it was, a truth about it came out, and it was disclosed, and now that when you pick up a cigarette, that it is going to, harmful. It is a harmful thing that you can do. And now you can make an informed choice of whether you want to do it or not. But that's kind of what's missing in this. And there's no incentive for Wall Street to want that. There's no incentive. There's no incentive for Wall Street to want that. So that's why you have people like Charles Payne going on, his platform, inflating the ape's ego, telling them that they're, changing Wall Street and all that garbage, and it's just,
And there's no incentive for YouTube right now to stop the grifters because they're getting views, which means they can sell advertising on their channels, their videos. So YouTube's making money. So there's no real reason for them to want to shut that shit down. In Reddit, the subreddit that has to do with this, like super whatever it is, and AMC, people buy, like, spend money on their metals and shit. So why would they shut down a profitable stuff? There's no reason for anybody to act right now.
Yeah,
I think some people are
go ahead.
stuck in this rut, not only because they're down so much, but because I think, like Lynn was saying, it's embarrassing. You know what I mean? To admit you got duped out of your money. But people have to realize everybody is taking an L.
Your audio got really low.
Oh. All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's 100% better. Yep.
100% better.
Yeah.
I was saying, like Lynn was saying, it's embarrassing. So I think a lot of people are stuck in this play because they're down a lot and they're embarrassed. They don't want to admit that they were duped.
You're back in the subway. You're back in the subway. Okay, now.
All right.
Yeah, now it's better.
My shitty ass service.
Okay, you got to get rid of that Q link.
This is my last time.
You got to get rid of that Q link.
All right, if this don't work, I give up. But I was saying, like Lynn was saying, people are embarrassed. It is embarrassing. You got out of here. Is it fucked up again?
Yeah.
I quit.
Yeah.
I quit.
That's got better.
Shitty ass service. I quit. You're fucking with me.
No.
I think you're fucking with me.
I'm not fucking with you. I think the hedge funds are fucking with us because we're spitting so much truth here. But no, I'm not. Yeah. It just keeps going back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth. I'll try it again. It's just people. I think people are stuck into play because they're embarrassed to admit that they were duped and fell for this sham. But people have to realize everybody has took an L and fucked up sooner or later or once. And you know what I mean? It's nothing to be embarrassed about. You just gotta wake up to the reality and change it. But I think some people are really, like Lynn was saying, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
and they've got so much riding on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right. It's like, the double down theory, like, shit, I'm way in the hole. So the only way I can get myself out of the hole is to double down, because then when I do win, I'll make it all back and then some more. And you're just throwing
Mm-hmm.
good money after bad. You're spending a dollar to pick up a quarter, and like rarely does that work. I mean,
Hustling backwards.
right? Or yeah, like TMI said, two steps forward, or one step forward, two steps back. He literally said that one
Mm-hmm.
day. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, I can see that, but you got it wrong. But whatever, and that, I don't know. I mean, no, I think you're right. But again, like I was saying before, it's like, Frankie Muhammad wants to talk about being a man and all this shit, right? And which I don't, whatever, I'm not like preaching that, but what I'm saying is like being a person like with integrity, and like somebody who wants to improve and get and do better and get better and set a good example and all this stuff. If you wanted to do that, you have to admit that you're wrong at some point. Like, that's part of being an adult, even. Like, man, woman, whatever, ape, you know, Martian, whatever the fuck. Like, again, like the most successful people in the world would tell you that, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. There's a great Nike commercial from the 90s with or 2000s with Michael Jordan. And he's like, the whole commercial's like him saying, I missed this many baskets, I missed this many, whatever. And the thing, and that's what made me good, essentially. I'm paraphrasing it. But, you know, the fact that he missed all these shots and he lost this many games, and he, missed this many buzzer shots, that's what
Oh yeah,
made
I know what
him
you're talking
great.
about. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I was like that commercial, because I think that's true, and that's like that is like kind of an inspirational message, not, oh yeah, look how like this, modern like swag bullshit, like, oh, look how great I am. No, yeah, okay, but that doesn't really help anybody. Like, it helps people to realize, yeah, the best people in whatever it is, they work their ass off to get there, and part of that is being honest with yourself and everybody else, and saying, what, look, I fucked up. I fucked up big, but the bigger the problem, bigger the opportunity. So I'm going to learn from this, and I'm going to, you can make fun of me if you want to. You can ridicule me, but, let he who is, never fucked up in their life, they can cast the first stone, kind of thing. Just let it roll off your back, I mean, but if you have so much on the line, makes it harder to do that. But
What do you
again,
think? What do you think the over under is on how much longer this goes
God,
before it turns back? Like until it,
I
like
don't
say
know,
say how much longer
because we were talking
until
about
it
this
turns
last
bad?
year, like last fall, and I didn't think it would go on this long. Then, like back in like August, September, I didn't think it would be going on in, through June of the next year. Um, but yeah, I don't. I mean, as long as people are making money off of it, not AMC, off the grift, off of these YouTubers and stuff. I don't know. I mean, it's like, how long can shorts hold? Well, they can hold indefinitely. That's the
Well,
reality of it. They have the money, even with the market and the shape that it is, even with inflation, interest rates, and everything else. They're not paying a lot. It's not a lot. 20% is not a lot on a $12 stock. So they can hold indefinitely. I mean, I think once the money
my
dries up for
thinking
them, but I don't think we're anywhere close to
that's what
that. I don't think we're anywhere close to that because if you look, like, I'm just looking at the search results here. You know, I mean, like, and this was I didn't even refresh this recently, but like New York Angelo put out a video 5 hours ago and it's got almost 9,000 views already. You know, like they can put out a video. Lou puts out videos and he instantly has 20,000 views on it. Like, I mean, that's
Yeah, but
you know,
don't you think in this environment, this financial environment, with the market and the talk of recession and things getting much worse, and don't you think though at some point AMC with the debt that they have, and at some point if the economy keeps getting worse and worse, people are
mhm.
not going to have the money to go to spend at these movies,
I think a
and
lot of
with their
people
debt,
don't already. Yeah. Mhm.
like, do you think at any time like it gets to the point where AMC does have to get to a point where they have to hit bankruptcy with their debt, and because they haven't settled any of their debt, they still aren't
Right.
profitable, and the economic outlook just looks worse and worse the further in the future right now you get.
Right.
So could you see like AMC like having to just default on loans and call it quits?
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's. I mean, yes, I could see that. You know, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, it happens
Yeah,
all the
they can
time.
drag it out. They can
Yeah.
drag it out. They've got creative financing means, ways and means that they can do. For the retail side, I'm going to say November when people realize that Christmas is going to be fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with everybody losing money the way they are with gas, food, everything being so expensive, and then the holidays coming up, you would think
Right.
that it would put a lot of pressure
So I have a
You
friend in
know,
on
real.
if
people.
I have a friend in real life who was in AMC. I didn't know he was. I'd never known him to be involved in the stock market or anything. And then, you know, we were talking one day and he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, AMC, blah blah." And I'm like, "Oh boy, here we go." And it was after, you know, June. It was like August or something. And I didn't tell him I had a YouTube channel like crushing his dreams. I just didn't, you know. But you know, like November rolled around and, you know, he's got a daughter who's like 13 or whatever. And he was telling me, yeah, I think I'm going to have to get rid of my AMC shares just so I can do Christmas. And I'm, you know, like that was last year, you know, this past year. So I think that a lot of people probably, I mean, I saw the posts on Reddit, like, you know, well, you know, the wife and I decided to, you know, whatever, cut back on Christmas or whatever, posts like that already, you know, from last year. I don't know if that, you know, how sustainable that is, especially now, um, because at the end of last year, you still had, you know, shit was not as expensive. Gas wasn't $5, $5.50 a gallon in Ohio, in fucking Ohio. You know, I mean, Lynn's used to that shit. Like 5.50 would be cheap, probably, but out here, you know, well, hell, $4 is expensive for us. So, um, and just everything else. I mean, you can't go to McDonald's and you're going to spend close to $15 for one person to eat. I mean, it's crazy. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I think that's probably that would for the retail side. Um, you know, and AMC could cut. They could cut their. They could. You know, they could cut their expenses. They could get rid of. You know, locations. You know, they have 2 or 3 locations in a metro area or whatever. Um, you know, like
It
they could
almost seems
go
though
into
that they
power
want that
saving
title
mode.
of the. It almost seems like though that want that title of the largest theater chain. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of theaters that they have under their name that they could cut that are not profitable and
Right.
should be cut. But it almost seems like they want to keep that title of the largest theater chain type
Well,
shit.
they also
no,
they
they keep buying new
that's what I was
properties.
gonna
It's
say.
Yeah, that's
ridiculous.
They keep adding locations actually. So yeah.
which is crazy.
Downtown LA 90plex.
Yeah, and they're
Jesus.
right, and they're in all these like
I got to
exotic
say this.
locations, like Hollywood and
I got to
stuff.
say
Yeah.
this real quick. If
Mm-hmm.
I go on YouTube and I say,
And
look,
they
I'm
don't
not a
own the
lawyer,
actual real
but
estate,
here's
do
my
they?
legal advice, and you take my legal advice and you go to court and you get your ass handed to you, how is that different from saying, oh, I'm not a financial advisor, but then dishing out financial advice that people may or may not, but probably will follow, because if they weren't interested in it, they wouldn't be listening to you.
Right.
So if any lawyer did that, they'd be kicked off the bar real quick, or any non-lawyer did that, they'd probably be
Oh
lined
yeah.
up in court on the other side. So how is it any different to defraud somebody by making this patent little disclaimer that nobody's signed or agreed to just by virtue of listening to you say it doesn't mean that they accept it or understand it or agree
Right.
to it.
Right. Yeah, I
Someone's
mean,
going to end up suing YouTube.
Yeah, it's like you can't say, oh, it applies here, but it doesn't apply there. It applies across the board. If you're not qualified to give out advice in an area that you're an expert in, then don't fucking give advice out, or say, if you follow my advice and it all goes south, please don't sue me. Because that's what they really mean when they say, I'm not a financial
well,
advisor.
right.
This is not
Yeah.
financial advice.
Yeah, we talked about that last year. Like, that's the reason that they put that they say that disclaimer is to discourage people from suing them, But I think the reality is, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer either, and I've said before that I wanted to get a lawyer on here, like not fucking West Christian, like an actual, like, somebody
Right.
who is like, for actually, like, actually practicing law, like in a relevant fucking field, not somebody who all he talks about is fucking overstock or whatever from the past. Okay, we get it, we get overstock, all right. Whoever cared about overstock, by the way? Whoever fucking cared about that company? Like, and it was
Yeah, like a
naked short
lawyer
selling
that
was legal then.
specializes in financial fraud.
What's that?
Like a lawyer that specializes in like commercial fraud or something that could tell
Ideally,
you
right.
if
Yeah, or securities fraud or something. Yeah, like somebody who actually knows and does this shit like on a daily basis is what their profession is. To say, but like, there's no question that you could sue. They could be sued. You can sue anybody, but
you can
would
do
it hold
anything. Yeah.
water? Right? Would it hold water? What would happen? Would they just say, well, YouTube's got this disclaimer, and when you use YouTube or whatever. But I mean, the way that it works is basically like it all gets YouTube washes their hands of everything. So if you put something on that's copyright infringement or whatever, if I play a song that's like a commercially released song,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to come to me and say, well, you've used this copyrighted material. We are going to take the ad revenue and it's going to go to that copyright holder, for example. Or if I put it on and somebody disputes it and says, no, you can't use that, then they're going to take it out.
Yeah, but
I can't show
YouTube
it.
has a they've warned you about doing that, and they also have algorithms that detect.
Detect it. Right. Right.
Now they
But
don't have algorithms that detect someone giving
no,
financial advice. Could
no,
they
they don't.
say that
No.
YouTube could be negligent for allowing? Because even they say I'm not giving financial advice.
Right.
Everything I'm saying is just for entertainment. But then they give financial advice to an audience that they know follows them and that will follow their advice. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like at some point, I think someone's gonna sue YouTube for the negligent for allowing these creators to pump this
Mm-hmm.
shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if someone actually sues the individual creators for putting that shit out there.
Right.
And as long as it's allowed to proceed in court, meaning it's not a frivolous lawsuit,
Right.
anything can happen. If YouTube would probably settle some shit, you know what I mean? But these content creators, man, they get taken to court. You
I
get
would
a jury.
imagine that YouTube would be their terms of service are pretty tight, like to disclaim them from like any losses incurred, And by the way, it's against the YouTube rules to put get rich quick schemes. It literally says get rich quick schemes and
Yeah,
another
it's
Ponzi
illegal.
schemes and stuff like that. So
It's
you
their
can't have that
terms of
on there.
service. You can't. But like I said, their algorithms or whatever aren't doing a good enough job filtering that shit out
Right.
because it's saturated with that content. So you could make a claim saying, yeah, it's against the terms of service, but YouTube didn't do a good enough job.
Right. Right.
Whatever, making sure that shit didn't go on their platform.
You're
Right.
dropping
It'd
out
be an
again.
interesting situation. I'm not saying it would work, but somewhere down the line, I think someone's
Well,
going to take a shot at it. There's always going to be a lawyer that'll try something.
well, there should, and somebody should. It needs to be tested, and it needs to be addressed. I think, and it's not even whether they get whether one content creator gets, damages awarded against them or whatever. I think that it is an important thing. So here's this is I'm pulling up the YouTube policies here just to see what it says. Yeah. YouTube doesn't allow spam, scams, or other deceptive practices that take advantage of the YouTube community. We also don't allow content where the main purpose is to trick others into leaving YouTube for another site. Let's see. Video spam, misleading metadata or thumbnails. So already right there.
Yeah, the thumbnail.
Video spam, content that is excessively posted, repetitive, or untargeted, and does more of the following. Promises viewers they'll see something, but instead directs them off site. Gets clicks, views, or traffic off of YouTube by promising viewers that they'll make money fast. But that says gets clicks off of YouTube. Sends audiences to sites that spread harmful software. Misleading metadata or thumbnails using the title, thumbnails, or description to trick users into believing the content is something it's not. I'm looking at finance news on that one. Those motherfuckers. Like, Michael Burry confirms the squeeze. No, he didn't fucking confirm the squeeze. Shut the fuck up. Scams, content offering cash gifts, get rich quick schemes, or pyramid schemes, sending money without a tangible product in a pyramid structure. But get rich quick schemes, I mean, certainly. Incentivizations, like, sales engagements, like views, comment spam, repetitive comments, live stream abuse. It applies to videos, descriptions, comments, live streams, and anything else on YouTube. And it's not a complete list. So they leave it open. So let's see here. Scams. Exaggerated promises, such as claims that viewers can get rich fast or that a miracle treatment can cure chronic illnesses such as cancer. So, I mean, that's really a kind of a good analogy, like in another thing, like people that go on and say, oh yeah, if you take, if you make turmeric milkshakes with mustard and turmeric, it'll cure COVID, or stuff like that. That's not that.
But even
It's
if
not
it's
based on anything. There's no evidence. It's not based on science. They don't. That's not allowed. Like a miracle
but what I'm
treatments.
saying is even if it is in their terms of service, right? The content is still on their platform. YouTube hasn't taken
They've
it
done
off
nothing. Right.
or
They've done nothing.
violated them for the terms of service violation. So would YouTube be negligent for
Right.
that? That's my question. Like,
Yeah. No. I mean,
I could see a class action lawsuit
but
later
yeah. I
down the
mean,
line.
they. So they. Yeah, and it could be. It's it's kind of like the Supreme Court said that that law enforcement, the police, have no obligation to help citizens, right? So like there was recently a
Right.
case where somebody, I think it was in Florida, probably in Florida, where somebody they were responded to some domestic violence thing, and it was a dude and a woman, and the dude ended up jumping like in the pond and ended up drowning. And the police were there and they watched him drown and they did not help him. And, you know, the Supreme Court has said that the police are under no obligation to offer any assistance at any time. So it's a terrible story. It's it's bad, and it seems like, yeah, well, they should do something, but they don't have to legally. So I wonder if there's something like this here, like, yeah, they have these terms of service, but they don't have to enforce them, that's, again, it seems like counterintuitive.
Yeah.
It seems like, what's the point then?
Or
You know,
what if a content creator gets sued by somebody for for their losses, saying they provided financial advice? And what if the content creator turns around and tries to sue YouTube, saying,
right.
you
You should have
allowed me on
taken
the
it off.
platform, never gave
Right.
me any strikes.
Right.
If
You
I was
never,
doing something wrong, yeah.
right. Yeah.
So it could go a bunch of different ways.
Yeah, I could.
It'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
I think it's a Wild West situation right now. I think it is. I think that it's, I mean, ultimately, let me say this. I think ultimately it's the answer is people being more informed. Obviously. That's the way, because
Hmm.
we look at this shit and we laugh at it and say how stupid this is because we know that it is. But and that's, it would be better if everybody, could do that, right? But that's also not
Right.
realistic. Some people are always going to be fall for scams. But I think this has shown that too many people are falling for them for this shit, and it's persisting.
Yeah, at some point it's doing society a disservice.
Right.
Like it's causing harm.
I would agree.
Well, I think that YouTube's lawyers are way too good for anything to happen to them. So I wouldn't even put that on the table.
You wouldn't
They're going
think
to be able
though
to argue
that
their way out of it,
somebody would
and
take
I'm
their
sure
shot,
they've
try to do it.
padded their TOS anyway.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that they're super
YouTube's such
tight.
a,
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead,
yeah, but
Matt.
negative publicity too. YouTube might just want to not get the negative publicity and just write a check behind the scenes. You know what I mean? NDA. Here, take $30,000. Shut the fuck up. Sign the NDA.
I think if YouTube cared, they would have already done something about it.
Probably,
The
yeah.
fact that they've let it continue, believe me, they're aware of it. It's not that
No, I
they're
don't
not
believe they
aware.
care, but
They
it's
just
until
don't
somebody
care. They
presses
feel
that
like
line to
the
make them care.
advertising
You know what I
revenue
mean?
is better than any damage that's going to come to them.
Right.
And if anybody tries to attach them as a party to a lawsuit, their lawyers are going to get rid of that real quick. And believe me, they've got probably some of the best corporate
Yeah, but I
lawyers
could
out
see,
there.
I could envision somebody taking that shot, suing them, and going uh the publicity route on the news, on the finance channel, Fox and shit like that, stating their case like, oh, it was this platform, allowed this to happen, and just because of the negative publicity, I could
They
see
would crack
YouTube
down on
writing a
it.
check
Oh yeah.
and crack down on it after they did it. But I could see them writing a check and making, sign an NDA. We're not accepting any guilt. We're just giving you this money, sign this NDA, and shut the fuck up about it. And then, them reform their policies, because no company ever changes until they're forced to, because
Something
of,
happens. Right. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
like
Somebody
it affects their
somebody
money.
takes the initiative, calls them out or sues them, or something terrible happens, and yeah, right. So we looked at this a
I mean,
couple
the
months
lady
ago
sued McDonald's for burning your fucking thighs
for the coffee,
with
right?
hot coffee.
Right. So this article, I think Lynn brought this up. Actually, she found this, but this is in Australia. So Australia, ASIC is like the Australian SEC. So that's like their securities regulators. So Australian Securities and Investments Commission. So they are cracking down on financial influencers who give unlicensed financial advice on social media. So it says
Mm.
that survey data suggests that young people change their money habits after following finfluencers on platforms such as TikTok and Instagram. and the ASIC is worried about some of the content could be financial advice. They warn that providing financial advice unlicensed can result in penalties or up to 5 years in prison. I can't imagine that actually happening here. And it also raised concern about payments from investment platforms to influencers for promoting links to their followers. So this is where, to me, where it gets interesting, because you know the Investment Advisors Act, which is what defines what a financial advisor is and what they can and can't do in the United States, from 1940. Which already right there, like this act is from 1940. It's been amended and stuff, but like our laws are so antiquated. I mean, the Securities Act of 1933, the Investment Advisors Act of 1940. Anyway, like I think this shit needs to be updated because they I'm sure it doesn't address this, but one of the things in there is, they're probably not considered financial advisors because they don't have paying clients. So people don't pay them to get financial advice. And they don't have a fiduciary relationship with viewers on YouTube. That would be one of the arguments against
that's interesting.
them doing anything. But what is interesting though is this, payments from investment platforms to influencers. So we're talking about those promotional codes, the sponsorships.
Yeah, the sponsorships.
Whoever's like Ortex. Now, that's one that's got a place in my heart. Ortex providing this data to the influencers and giving them promotional codes, or Webull or whoever, Moo.
Yeah, Webull being an investment platform.
Right. So they are investment platforms, and the other half of it being the influencers are getting paid. So they are making money off of what they're doing. And of course they're getting, views, ad revenue and all that too. But the fact that they're getting paid from investment platforms to do this brings another complexity to it, because now investment platforms, they make money when people trade. So if they are influencing people to trade maybe more than they should, or whatever, or in one security or whatever, now there's more of a direct type of link because they're being paid by somebody who has an interest in their audience taking an action like trading. So I think that's this angle to me is probably, that's an important aspect of it, I think. So I'm not sure here if there's anything else here.
But that at least shows they're starting to consider it.
And this is in Australia. Right, and this is in Australia, so I don't know that would ever happen here, but because like our system is one of the few in the world that allows payment for order flow. So like taking that as a cue, I don't know how feasible something like this is. I don't know, but
what if the person watching is in Australia, but the content creator is in the U.S.?
Well, I think that's a good. I don't know, actually.
You know what I mean? There's so many different variables that it'd be a quagmire for sure. It'd be all fucked up, but it'd be interesting.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it raises a lot of questions, but
is this a way for the financial companies to skirt around that rule by sponsoring the YouTube personalities to push their shit?
Right.
Whereas the platforms would have to follow certain rules, but they get around it because they just have their influencers do it.
Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it is. I'm not getting the whole chat here, but Manuel's saying something interesting about the Section 230 of the Communications Act. Let's see if I can get that here. Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which was passed in 1996, says an interactive computer service can't be treated as the publisher or speaker of third-party content. This protects websites from lawsuits if a user posts something illegal, although there are exceptions for copyright violations, sex-related work material, and violations of federal criminal law. So that's the one that basically, and what that also does is it allows the interactive computer service um, to basically moderate their content. And now the right likes to paint that as censorship. It's not really censorship because it's a private company. They can do whatever they want. They could say, we don't want people to talk about financial advice, so we're going to remove any content that smells like financial advice. That's within their right.
Yeah.
It's not a free speech issue, just as an aside. But also what it does is if somebody posts something about some kind of illegal content, like I don't know, like let's just say how to rob a bank or something, whatever, something that's blatantly illegal, how to get away with murder, um, you know, and so it basically it protects YouTube from they're not considered the publisher or the speaker. So like even though it's on their website and you go to YouTube to watch it, it's Scott Allen talking about it. So the any lawsuits would come to me, not to YouTube. So it basically shields YouTube from any type of liability for what's posted on their sites. And actually, I think it makes sense really, because if you post something, who's responsible for that? It's the person that
Not
posted it,
only that,
So
how could they really be expected to monitor
and they
all
they
that?
can't be expected to
Yeah.
monitor all of it. They have the ability, or they have their it's within their rights to monitor and moderate it, but they don't have to either. They could say, you know what, we don't want to moderate it. We'll moderate things that are reported to us from our users, and I think that's one thing that YouTube does as well. Like, yeah, they have the copyright algo thing where they'll find copyrighted material because they can run it through their database essentially. But when it comes to like other like hate speech and other all the other categories of shit that's not prohibited, they don't have a way to do that. So they rely on users to report it. And if they report it and they look into it and it's violating the policy, then they'll yank it down. But they don't have to, because this law, says, hey, the computer server, the website, whatever, they're not considered the publisher, so or they're not the one speaking.
But then you would look at it. You could also say, because remember, Kohrs had his channel turned off, so did
Yeah,
TMI, and they got him put back on. So you could argue that they didn't do a good enough job. You know what I mean? They knew something
right.
was wrong because they turned it off. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
it is interesting. It's a unique situation, I think. I'm just looking at Quora here because who knows, but YouTube video is not trading advice. And this is a good point too. Like, even if somebody does put out a good video and has good information, like Teddy Zane, here's how I'm trading it and I made money. Well, that's okay, that's great. But even with detailed instructions, it doesn't mean that you can repeat it. You can do the same thing, even if they give you detailed step-by-step instructions. That's not a guarantee. That is not a guarantee that you could do it and have the same results. Like,
Yeah, because
because
you wouldn't be able to duplicate the conditions
yeah, right,
that
exactly.
he was
Every
in.
situation is unique to that time. So that's why you have to learn the techniques and concepts and be able to know what to do and do it when you should do it. And if you rely on somebody else to tell you, you're always going to be late. You're not going to do it right,
Yeah.
like, because it's more than just monkey see, monkey do. No pun intended.
Yeah, because even if you know the TA, that just gives you a better shot at more cases than not. It'll go this way. You know, a certain percentage, it'll break up to the up, a certain percentage, it'll break to the down.
Right.
So even then, it's not a foolproof. It just gives you that little extra edge.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's, and, so,
But I enjoyed chatting with you. I gotta get off.
all right, man. Yeah, for sure.
But good stream. Appreciate the
Yeah,
streams you
man.
do. It's entertaining.
Good.
And
Awesome.
catch you next time.
All right, man. Yeah. Let's do it again soon.
All right, see ya.
Have a good night. All right. So, and then there was one. So, well, I want to see Teddy Zane's video. We'll go back to watching a couple videos and then I'll call it a night. It's midnight here on the in the Eastern time zone. But yeah, I love having people in here. We used to do it. Well, I like doing it. But is Lynn around still?
Yeah, I'm back.
She is.
I'm back.
Okay. Okay.
I encourage everybody to come jump into the voice chat the next time that Scott opens it up, because it's a lot of fun. And
Yeah,
you
and
just never know where the conversation's going to go. We want to hear
right.
what you think too, not just, limited to what you can type in chat, but what you really think about all this.
Right. And what I'm gonna get the Discord set up and running, and a lot of people have Discord, so that can be on here too. So you could be on Telegram or Discord voice channel, and they'll both hear each other and both be streamed. So maybe that will open, maybe that will be make it easier for people. So I was like, oh, I don't have Telegram. Well, download it then. Like, so what? You don't have it, so get it. It's free. There's, why don't you have it? Why don't you get it?
It is, and it's a good program, and it's also where our primary cabal get-togethers are.
Short seller, crack den,
Extravaganza.
crack house. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So
Short
let's
seller
see
flop house.
Yeah.
But thank you for having me on, Scott. I appreciate it as always.
Of course,
it's a lot of fun.
Of course, Lynn. Yeah, it's been so long, and I used to have this on I would turn it on anyway every time, and then I realized, well, I don't really say that it's there, every time, and then nobody probably knows, and then I stopped doing it, but I'm gonna start doing it again because yeah, it makes it a lot better. And we had, I think, actually, let me check the thing, but let's see, what does it say here? Well, it should say how many. I think at one time we had
like 14 in chat.
17 was the peak viewers.
17.
Yeah, viewers. I don't know about chat, but chat was chat was humming too for a little bit. And then
it's always a good time in the chat.
Yeah, and then let's see, we got 132 views on the stream. So like actual plays of the stream. I don't know what they consider a view. I think it has to be, a certain number of minutes or something. But so that's more than we usually get like during the stream. After a couple days, it's usually up around 200 or something like that. But actually, we can look at it here. But yeah, let's see. Let's refresh this. I mean, I had a feeling that 1,000 wasn't going to hold, to be honest with you, but it's not about that. It doesn't matter. It's just that, the faster I get and sustain over 1,000, the faster the apes will have a MOAS. That's the reality of it.
That's right. Don't make it reset to 2,000 because that's a much harder push. And that's a big resistance line to test.
It is. So who is this Doug in real life guy? He was in the chat earlier, but I see that he left a disparaging comment. I've gotten this comment so many times.
Joey Garcia was here for a minute.
I saw him too, but yeah, I ignored him, and then yeah, he got jumped on. Looks like I've gotten this
Yeah.
comment so many times. Like, I've gotten this comment so many times. Like, you all really need to, like, do better. LOL, is this all you do? AMC videos? Doesn't this make you the same as them? This reminds me of the old Howard Stern routine, or like Mystery Science Theater or something. Did you lose money on AMC or something? How many viewers did you have on the old channel?
Somebody said all that in chat?
No, this was a comment they left on last night's stream. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Which last night's stream was the futures opening. So, I mean, yeah, we ended up talking about AMC, but that was the
Clowns.
futures market. So, yeah,
Mystery Science Theater.
nobody does that. So it doesn't make me the same as them. And like I said before, this is all hyper perpetually bullish, you know, and we're based in reality, evidence based, essentially. So I really see no parallels. I mean, it doesn't take the AMC out of it. Take AMC out of it. Think about any other stock that's hyped, which there's dozens of them, you know, and it applies to everything. It's not even specific to AMC, just that AMC is the one that's the most hyped, you know. But I don't know. And how many viewers did the old channel? I don't know, because it's deleted. I don't know. It was deleted. So I literally can't see it. But I think it was in the 300s. It was 300 after like 4 months, 5 months.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 300 is about where you were.
And now it's been about 6 or 7 months, and it's basically 1,000. So it's a lot easier this time, I'll tell you that, to get viewers, subscribers, because, you know, naturally, because of where the AMC stock price is. Like last year when I started doing this, it was in July, and it was like this price was like literally like $30-$40, and it ran up to, I think it hit 50. Yeah, like in September. Yeah. Oh, and you know, all the comments then, oh, you're wrong, Scotty C, you're wrong, it's back up to 50. Okay. Right. Wink, wink, wink. No, I've never said that the price won't go up or down. Like, I don't make a prediction on it, because at the end of the day, I don't know. But what I can tell you is that, you know, there's a 99% chance there will be no additional squeeze here. Like, that's just based on the evidence. But I mean, stocks go up and down, so it will go up probably to some point. But you know, but that's who cares. The apes aren't here to see $50. You know, that's the disingenuous part of that argument. Well, Scotty, you're wrong. See, it's back up to $22. So fucking what? So what? That's not life-changing money. That's not the claim. Nobody said it's going to go back to $22. You know? But I thought I saw that Doug guy in the chat, and he was I don't know. It was hard to keep up with all the chat.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in chat tonight. No, I think Doug was a cool dude, and we had Evergreens, who's new, or at least new, speaking up in chat. I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who lurk, and that's cool. You can lurk. And Tony Tanko was in here. I've never seen him in here before.
Well,
so cool for all the new people who popped in. It's awesome. New to me anyway.
Right. Well, he only said, let's see. Well, Evergreens was saying hedgies are greedy and they turned out pretty good. Yeah, but they know what they're doing. Like, it's not just greed. So that's not really a great take. Maybe he was being facetious or something. I don't know. AMC is just going to roll all its debt and have it all back in the next 5 years, like nothing happened. It's like nothing happened. Going to roll all its debt and have it all back in the next 5 years. All their debt, I guess, is what they're saying. It's like nothing happened. Let's see. And then Doug said years. but I don't know. There's really not much, and then that's all they said. And something about
I don't
paying
know.
off
I
debt.
assume everybody's cool until they come out and say something
Right.
like to
Yeah.
definitively show me
Well,
otherwise.
this comment is, this comment is not really the most supportive, but I mean, whatever. I still like the comment, I don't care. It doesn't, I mean, whatever. Like I said, I've heard that, like, I've literally had this comment so many times, like, oh, you're the same as these guys, because they're all you do is talk about AMC, and you must have lost a lot of money. Like, yeah, okay, that's really, really good. I mean, you think I've never heard that before? Do you think that that's like hurting me or something, or like, what is the point? I just don't know, like, what the point of that comment is. I mean, it used to be that there weren't. I mean, now there are, and see, this is the other thing too. Like comparing before to now, um, there were like 2 or 3 people, like Stocktopus and Strongman Personal Finance popped up. But I didn't know about Chris Norland last year. I'd never heard of him. I know about him. I didn't know about the Big Man Speaks. I didn't know, but there were a few other. I couldn't find him. Like I searched for, like more or less anti MOAS videos, and it's hard to find. Like it's hard to find it. Like it's hard to find people that are not super bullish on AMC. But there were a
I
couple
wonder if that
more.
was that before they took away or they kind of muted the dislike button, because I wonder if people disliking videos kind of suppress them in the algorithm, and once they stop
No, actually,
doing that, or the
that is
dislikes stopped counting, if it
that is a very, very guarded secret. But likes and dislikes are pretty much the same on videos in terms of engagement. So if you click like or if you click dislike, they both indicate engagement with the video. And so,
so the joke's really on all the YouTubers when it comes down to it.
well, or people on YouTube who are clicking dislike, like, oh, I hate this, I'm going to dislike it. Well, you just engaged with the video. So you helped them. That helps the algorithm. So that's why I always encourage people to hit the dislike. Go ahead and hit the dislike button. It doesn't matter. Like it literally counts as engagement. So does leaving a comment, even a comment that says "fuck you," I hope you die. That is engagement too. So like that one person that left like 3 comments on like 3 different videos, like I can tell that you hate me. So why are you leaving comments? If you hate me, don't click the like or dislike, and don't leave a comment, and turn off the video. Like, don't give me the view, don't give me a comment, don't give me a like or dislike. But yeah, like and dislike I've heard that they're, I mean, it's hard to get information because they don't tell you all the, details of their algorithm. But there are people who have like looked at it and, whatever. And yeah, they're essentially, they both, it counts as engagement. So yeah, and then now the only difference is it's feedback for the creator, because I can go and look, I can see the dislikes in here. So if I go into the channel dashboard and I look at the videos, I can see, likes versus dislike percent. So like the last video I did, which is actually in May 15th, that's over a month, like non-stream video, it got 8 likes and 7 dislikes. I know there's some ones with much worse ratios. Here's one. Failure to research, Boss Blunts. This is one of the mostly viewed videos with 844 views. But it got 15 likes and 29 dislikes. Let's see here. Trust Me Bro. Squeeze In coming soon. Source, Trust Me Clay Bro. That was a popular one too. One of my first popular videos on this channel. It has over almost 1,200 views. Came out in December. 13 likes, 30 dislikes. But notice it but it also has the most views. So it doesn't really mean anything. It's more or less feedback. Bro, your information is off. Nothing you said in your video had anything that was worth learning from. And I said, then I invite you to ignore the rest of my videos. And then here's Tony DeNaro, commenting and please explain, since Wall Street is in such control, why have they lost so much money? So in your opinion, there's no such thing as a short squeeze in the stock market. Wow, actually replied to the comment. Wall Street lost money in January and June run-ups of AMC. They know that apes are still trying to force a short squeeze. Shorts can cover without causing a squeeze. I don't remember even writing this. Plus, not all shorts will cover at the same time. So they can use short selling and short covering as tools. Yeah, not bad. So Pelosi, Jim Simons, Mark Cuban, Charles Payne, California Pension Fund, and so many more respectable institutions, along with millions of retail investors, have been duped. But you know the truth. I'm sorry, but though you may have some obvious calculations in favor of your thesis, the sum of your argument does not add up. That was a long response that I just left here, but I'm not even going to read it all. Stop hating. Criticism is not hate. Learn some critical thinking skills. TWA, man. TWA is probably the most prolific commenter on my videos. And they leave long, detailed, well-written comments. Like, they got some great comments. I mean, yeah. So
we'll have to do a best of
yeah,
comments.
yeah. I want to do
one
that.
day.
I want to do that. Yeah, definitely want to do that. But let's see here on the live streams. Yeah, live streams, it's mostly like 60% or above likes. It's a couple that are down, but 89 live streams. Wow. Yeah, live streams are better in terms of that. I think because it's, returning viewers that tend to watch, like all you guys and but I mean, I can go to, let's see, your audience and see that well, it's a couple days. It takes a minute to update, but a couple days. But so like on
Yeah,
June
you still trending with boomers or
June 15th, I had 256 new viewers versus 70 returning viewers. So that was a lot of new people coming in. But then on June 7th, on Friday, it was 51 returning viewers and 20 new viewers. So, but yeah, in terms of the age demographics, 75% of the watch time in the last 28 days has come from subscribers. So that's good. People that are subscribed, most of the views come from subscribers. Male is 97.1% versus female 2.9%. So in the last 28 days. And then I have noticed actually the age range, the age brackets, it's so the most is 35 to 44 years of age is 41%. Now this is in the last 28 days. I could do full of the whole time. Let me just put it on that. Like the last year, because I didn't have anything on this channel before last November. But if you go there, if we go the full life of the channel, if it wants to update here, come on now. Yeah, Model 3 dude, I don't, I'm not gonna, I would never block the comments like that. I would never do that. I mean, I'm not gonna, I don't respond to a lot of them. I don't even read most of them, to be honest with you. I don't even bother. But because comments, and that's engagement. Even if they say, I hate your guts, I want you to die. Well, great, but you just helped my channel. So by leaving that comment. So let's see, full life of the channel. Yeah, well, it's the same actually. 41.1% is in 35 to 44 years. That's my age group. That's my own age group. So that's good, I guess. 45 to 54 age is 29%. 55 to 64 is 9.5%. And 25 to 34 is right around 20%. So that's the one that has started popping up, is the 25 to 34. Before, a couple weeks ago or last month, there were really nobody in that 25 to 34. That's what's growing actually, is the 25 to 34, which tells me, yeah, probably some of these apes are, looking for something other than, you're gonna be so fucking rich. Wait, hold on. I can do that better. You're gonna be so fucking rich. Because that wasn't, now I could verify that, but I could actually look at a custom period of time. So I could look at like all the way up until let's say March or something. April 1st. Oops. April 1st. Because I didn't think that was a very popular age. Oh. Okay. Well, actually, I guess I was wrong. It was actually higher. I don't know. That's not what I remember it being, but I also don't look at this that often. Maybe it was already starting to turn then. Because my first channel, okay, no, I mean, it's actually fewer, 25. So maybe I had that backwards in my head. But the last channel, it was very wide age range of distribution. Like there were some 18 to 24s. There were some, I don't know if there's any 65 plus, but there was 55. It was pretty evenly distributed across those. So in the last 28 days, 25 to 34 is actually down. So I had it backwards. Fewer 25 to 34-year-olds are watching, not more. That's not surprising. Let's see. Manny says, time has proven me right. He doesn't even have MOAS insurance. Yeah, search last year for descending views on MOAS, 99% was pro-grift. I bet it was not searched that much. Yeah. I put that light on their mushroom growing. But yeah, it's let's see here. I don't even know, like, I don't know how you would search for that though. Like, how would you search for you know, anti, no, like, you know, MOAS isn't real. I don't know how you would. Like, look who comes up first. Cosmic Lightning Warrior. Jesus. I mean, so you type in MOAS isn't real, and what you get is from Cosmic Lightning Warrior, GME MOAS is not a conspiracy. The media FUD. So here's one. The MOAS will not happen from LWT Trading and Investing. We've seen him before. How the government will respond to MOAS. Some theories on what the government may or may not do during a GameStop squeeze. Yeah, and then now we're just in just regular old grift videos. GameStop, why big bank or hedge fund cannot ignite the MOAS. AMC MOAS is completely false, proven data. We watched this video apparently. It's got a red bar across the bottom. I don't remember watching it, but there's a lot of things I don't remember. Oh, look, Donahue George is doing a what after the squeeze video. He's taking a cue from Lou. MOAS scam, try that. Okay. It's funny. Donahue George is capitulating to life after the squeeze videos. AMC and GME deception. There is no MOAS. Face reality. All gains, no losses. We've seen him. Of course, strongman personal finance. Trey's now doing videos on DRS, direct registered computer share. God, they're still talking about computer share. My God. Let's do that. Let's put our shares into something that's going to take, you know, what? At least, you know, I don't know. I forget exactly the timing, but it's not like using like a Robinhood or a Webull or a Fidelity when you want to sell your shares. Don't fear the fake borrowed AMC shares. Ross Perot. Which one's Ross Perot? Here? Is that like, I don't see Ross Perot, or somebody looks like Ross Perot. What, this guy? Jeremy? Financial education? Oh, Strongman Personal Finance hates him. But I don't know which guy you're talking about. Model 3 dude. AMC is ready to rebound. Oh, is it? I'm curious. I'm not 8 minutes and 51 seconds curious though about the rationale, but the old dude with the white board. Maybe it was on the last one. This guy. No, that's Donahue George. I don't know. Must have been on the previous search I did. Right here, that's a black dude. And then there's Cosmic Lightning Warrior. Let me go back up to the top. Cosmic Lightning Warrior. Keenan Grace. He's getting ready to go in for a shift as a banquet server there. The truth. I mean, the problem I have with those videos is it's probably not the truth. It's probably what you see as the truth. Very few people have any handle on the truth in this. Oh, you are talking about the Afro-American dude. That's Donahue George, the walrus of Wall Street. I don't know, the alligator of Wall Street, jackalope of Wall Street. Can't use crocodile. That's taken by Razzle Khan.
It's not legal advice. It's for entertainment, educational purposes only, and everything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. That being said, hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell to get my videos as soon as I put them out. First, I'd like to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers and grandfathers out there, and all the DDs.
This is Mike Tyson. Is this Mike Tyson in disguise? So he's going to say, after the MOAS, invest in these companies. Why not just invest in these companies now? Would be my response. I don't even need to watch that. Why not just buy these companies now? And he's going to talk about some option strategies here, but
I got to cut out and feed the dog.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna close this down. I'm gonna play one more video and then call it a night. So thanks for being here, Lynn. I appreciate it, and thanks for
yeah, no, thanks for having me. I appreciate it as well, and
having fun in the chat too. Thanks for taking care of the nonsense over there when there is nonsense. It's funny because I unblocked those people yesterday, and Joey Garcia was one of the ones that I unblocked, and two of those guys came in last night, and then Joey came in tonight. So they are, I do believe that they still do watch my content, even when they're blocked, because they got on that shit quickly. So, you know, they come here for the information.
Because of the comment I put in chat that Joey brake checked a fiat pop and then was surprised when Mike Tyson got out to ask him if he had a problem.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. I mean, he should expect that now because, you know, there's so many people in the chat, and he's got such a great reputation.
I know there's more than just like 4 of us now.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, anyway.
Force to be reckoned with.
Have a good night, Lynn. Thanks for
thanks, Scott.
Your
good night,
thanks
everybody
for your support.
in chat. Thanks for hanging out with us. And,
all right.
I'll
talk
see you
to
guys
you soon.
soon.
All right. Later.
Bye.
Okay, so you know what? Here we go. This is a good last video, and then we'll kick the song, and it'll be Tuesday before we know it. Well, it actually already is, technically.
What's going on? I see little motherfuckers.
Wait a minute.
All right,
isn't it the summer solstice, right? It is the summer solstice, right? The 21st. Unless it's the 22nd this year. No, it is. Oh, well, technically at 5:13 a.m. is the actual solstice. But Tuesday, June 21st is the summer solstice, 2022. So happy summer solstice. Happy summer. It's finally summer. And here in Northeast Ohio, you know, we basically have 2 seasons, summer and winter. But you know, so it'll go from snowing to being, you know, warm in the blink of an eye. But it's the other 2 seasons that are my favorite seasons because we don't get too much of them. But you know, it's been 90 already here. It was 96 last week. It's supposed to be hot tomorrow. It was actually nice today or last couple of days, but anyway, summer solstice. Tuesday.
Listen, I'm going over my fucking emails, and I got to tell you something. As far as people saying, Lou, do you think this number is okay? Lou, do you think I can sell at this number? Look, I'm going to tell you something because I've been attacked so many times. Lou wants you to sell low. I don't think people, that's how I know there's a lot of motherfuckers that have never been in this world before. Because here's the thing. If you think that on Judgment Day, I'm not going to be watching the number and I'm not going to be watching the lines to see where my point
Judgment Day.
to.
I like he's using Judgment Day now, like as the squeeze on Judgment Day. Jesus Christ.
Do you understand? That could be whatever. I don't give a fuck. 5, 8, 1,000, 2,000, whatever the fuck it goes up to. I'm going to be watching in order to execute. If you think that I'm going to cheat myself in order just to see shit rise, no. I know what I want, but if I can still see it, of course I'm going to ride it. So who is exactly telling you to sell low? Because that's not what I'm doing here. Now, I do know at a certain point this can break whatever, but I'm still going to gamble that day because on that day, that's the wild day. That's the day where logic, that doesn't matter. That's the day that when you pour water, instead of it going down, it's going to go up. That day is the day where you're just in your zone. That's how you are, okay? So for people that turn around and ask me what price should they sell at, I'm like, you shouldn't even ask that price because the reality is that on that day, you're going to be looking at the screen and you're going to go, more, a little bit more. And you're not even going to be paying attention to any. Jesus himself could be right there. Dog, you should pull the fuck out already. Dog, they're going to fuck you up. You're not going to listen to nobody. So don't ask nobody what's a good price to sell because on that day, what's going to happen is you're going to see the numbers ratcheting. And you're going to have dips, and you're going to decide whether you hold or not. Look what's going on with the crypto people. That's what's going on with how many people in Bitcoin right now took a massive fucking like hammer to the fucking side of the head, but they're holding on because it might be a rally. They might just be a rally. Nobody knows. That's how people are going to be. Are you going to hold the dip or you're not going to hold it? But at the end of the day, only you are going to be there on the line and on the number that day. And Judgment Day might be like 3 days. So at the end of the day, people are like, what's the number? Good question. Because I don't even know my number right now. Because I have my brackets where like, okay, if I pass one bracket,
I like the
secure.
The technique of the squeeze might last multiple days. Judgment Day might be like 3 days. Like flattening it out, like flattening out the peak, plateauing the top. So no, don't worry. You don't have to be fast. You don't have to be good. You can, it's going to take like 3 weeks. It's just going to keep going up and it'll go sideways and then it'll go up some more. And, there's plenty of time. Don't worry about it. Like it making it more accessible. I like that's a good technique.
There's another bracket. I know, holy shit, I'm wealthy. If it passes another wealthy, I go, holy shit, I'm rich. That's what those brackets mean. Safe, secure, and whatever. But you got to understand something. The brackets are basically what it signifies to me if I sell at that number, if I get to that number in my life, my family, my friends, whatever, that world. But other than that, you're going to be looking at the number. You're going to make the decision when you're going to pull out. Some motherfuckers like, I never pull out. That's why I got 9 kids. Here's the deal. I love you motherfuckers. But understand something. On that day, you're going to be by yourself, looking at that number going, and then you're going to have to do it. Like for day traders, this is normal stuff. In, out, whatever like that. That feeling of like, okay, this is it. This is what I got to get out. But for people that have never done this kind of shit before, I understand. So I don't look down on you. On the contrary, welcome to the party. At the end of the day, everybody goes through this. But understand, when that line is going up, and you're seeing, let's say, for example, 700, and it's going up to 750, 800, if it goes up to 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, only you're the fuck. I'm not going to go, dog, come on, man, you got to sell. Like, for real, I'm going lights out. I told you at a certain point, I'm going lights out. And we'll talk.
Yeah, and what about the obvious trading halts that would be in place at that point? what is it, like 10%? I actually forget, but it's like something like that. Limit up, limit down, halts. Like, oh, it's gonna go from 700 to 800 to 1,000.
Shit like that, but
right.
That's it. Look, I love you motherfuckers to death. Really, you motherfuckers are the sweetest human beings in the world. Some of you motherfuckers need to fucking whatever, but that's the point. You motherfuckers are sweet. And the time we've been together, I can tell you straight. It's too early to get in trouble with the cops. Dog, I got arrested on Juneteenth. That's fucked up. I thought you were supposed to be free. Anyway, that's fucked up. This shit comes out of my head. Anyway, on that day, you have to understand something. You're going to be looking at the number and the price, and there's nobody that can get involved. What you need, what you want, the fuck? Everybody's burning down the city.
The
That's
AMC's...
No matter where you're at, it's forget it. Motherfuckers live on Park Avenue, I don't know how they do it. Like 86 in Park, you got to be made out of stone to live there. Here's the deal. Once it starts ratcheting up, you know, you might say, I'm going to sell at 3. And I know people that say they're going to sell at 3. You might sell at 9. How the fuck do you know? Like, for real. Once fear or greed, that's all you know. Fear or greed. Remember, like in Squid Game, the big doll with the fucking that fucking sound, or you go forward, everybody freezes. That's, nobody knows. At the end of the day, when the holy fucking spirit jumps inside of you, that's when you can go no mas. But when the devil's talking to you, come on, dog, we can do this shit right now. That day is you, motherfuckers. Just know you're safe, secure, and your wealth, your richness. And at the end of the day, may God protect all of you. Because what are you going to do? Nobody can answer that question for you. That's your moment, okay? That's your moment. So I hope I answered that the best way, because there is no way of answering that for each individual person. So, giant love, motherfuckers.
Giant love. Giant love. Let's see. I can't remember if AMC is tier 1 or tier 2 security. It's either 5 or 10% on the limit thing. Whatever. 700. Ooh, paid. Yeah. Yep. Okay, well, you know what time it is. No matter what time it is, I do thank you for being here. We're cool, calm, and collected. Let me put on my mask. The maskless investor. It's been a minute since we looked at him. I'm gonna have to look at him sometime again. I just remember that one. The apes. The AMC was seconds from death. Seconds. So goddamn dramatic. Seconds from death. All right. Well, I'm seconds from death in terms of being tired. Hey, look, there's Afro Man. I love him. I love Afro Man. He's great. Normally that's not there, but because we watched that one video on VLC, the window is still there. Let me give it some bass. Yeah, there we go. I do never get sick of this song, though. And let's see here. All right. Okay. So, took him away for a minute to go back to this. Bullshit. Tommy Jim. Look at Frankie. I honestly, I forgot that he made the actual. That's a great picture though too. That's a great picture. I forgot that he made the tier actually. the F tier. I mean, he'll stay. I guess he can stay on there, you know. But technically now he's disqualified. It's okay. It's all right.
Selfish. When I open your legs, I smell fish. You talk too much to everybody. So flirtatious.
Kicking it, baby. Let's kick it off. Let's kick it. Keep on trucking. We're gonna keep on trucking. Oh, well, since we got a moment here, just a quick moment. So since the market's going to be open in a few hours, it looks like the stocks are going. The equities are making a run for the border, which means that they'll probably make another run for the other border when the market opens. I don't know. That'd be my guess. I don't have any positions on, so, well, I do have half an Ethereum token, so we'll see. Home Alone guy. Wall of grifters. So, yeah, we'll see what happens in the market tomorrow. I really don't see much case for a reversal, but who the fuck knows? You're so annoying.
You're destroying. You're such an envelope pusher. Such a gossip gusher. It's not fly to me for you to invade my privacy. Money taking, trouble making. Orgasm fake. Who's fucking up my schedule and they won't give me head? Oh, that's you. You wanna run away with my dog?
Yep.
Meet a new man in Florida. I'm in the studio, rocking it steady. I'll visit my daughter when I get ready. You full of shit.
I would love for AMC to invest in a brewery with the $100 million. Well, you know, there's a lot of things the apes would like. Yeah, LA Times dropped I don't know if it was a hit piece or not. I couldn't get to it because paywall. But I'll figure out a way. To get to it, and we'll look at it tomorrow or something. Yeah, half coiner now. Well, I sold the whole coin and made a couple $100. And then I had FOMO'd back in. And now, you know, no longer, I don't know if I'm up. I might be slightly up. I am down $3. So second time was not as good as the first time, which is odd. Usually that's not the case. But you know, in this case it is. It is the case. Anyway, I got to run along to bed, but good stream. Got some voices in here, and you know, I'd like to make that more of a habit. And Manny, it was nice to hear you. Nice to talk to you briefly. Hope to do that more in the future. So preferably when you're not in a movie theater or, you know, or such, but yes, after you've been drinking, because that's when the best shit comes out. That is when the best shit comes out. But other than that, well, it seems like a lot of people had today off work. I didn't. But anyway, enjoy your day tomorrow, and I'll catch you guys soon.